Okay. So theoretically we have started, but the episode has not technically started yet. Just want to make sure it loads up. Just want to hear everyone. Sounds good. Everyone say things real quick.
Ooh, things real quick.
Stuff.
So, hey, I'm drinking coffee.
Same. And I keep bumping the coffee mug into my mic.
Me too.
You're gonna probably hear sipping for a little bit here.
Okay, there we go.
My coffee.
Damn it! I don't have a coffee on me.
Oh,
I slept in, boys. I feel bad. I'm like, oh, can't sleep in. Got to be all up and ready to go for a new job. And it's kind of like my 1 day a week Saturday from the 1 day because I quit. Because I'm a quitter. Yeah, shout out to Temp Act in the chat and Aussie in the chat. Thank you, folks, for being here today as we more or less get ready to do a new CAPMAX HYPECAST. We put a tweet. I'm going to close Twitter. I'm going to close this Fix Problems with Hangout because everyone seems to be here now. Going to close this. We're saying that's episode 28. Say again?
That it seems to be working.
Mm-hmm. You're still coming in a bit quiet, though. Let me just see what this does. Say something, Imbrock.
Hello?
Yeah. Say, like, a sentence.
I will talk like this and say different words and try to form a sentence.
Yeah. Sound good? Sound good, Sean? Okay. Okay. I think we're about ready then.
Oh.
Whoa, what was that? Someone was just everyone here? Okay, Sean's here. Sean, are you muted?
Nope, I'm not.
Remember, this is purely an audio.
Right.
They can't see you nodding your head. I mean, the live people can, but for the edited audio version.
That's funny. Yeah, I guess.
Brock doesn't even have that. But yeah, like you guys haven't recorded in a while too, so we're all pretty darn rusty. All right, let's start this up. It's never going to get any better. Hold on. Okay. Okay, music playing, same song. Should I update the music? I like the music. It's cool. Gets me hyped. Greetings, friends. Steven here, and welcome to the CAPMAX HYPECAST. We're back. Apparently, last time we recorded one of these was in July. I don't know. That sounds wrong. I'm sure it must have been more recent than that. But anyways, this is the CAPMAX HYPECAST. This is episode 28. Our recording date is February the 20th, 2019. It's a Wednesday afternoon. I'm joined by. How do you say that? I'm joined by. I don't like it at all. I gotta stop saying that. Anyways, I got two guests here with me today. We have Sean and we have Brock. Gentlemen, how's it going today?
Good. Things are good, man. Yeah. Yourself?
We'll see.
Newly freed?
I'm sitting pretty at the moment, but we'll see how I feel in a couple weeks from now.
Yeah. I'm looking at was it about 3 to 4 weeks worth of rent payments there on the shelf behind you?
Yeah, man. I'm sitting on my retirement right here. I got the Stacks games, more Stacks games. What is this? What are we doing with our lives? I don't know anymore. Brock, are you there? Brock, are you there? Over.
We lost Brock.
No, we're live. Brock, come back to us. No.
Hello? There he is.
Yeah.
I just had to rechange my settings in the stupid Google thing again to fix that. I don't know why I don't know. It's just broken.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the show, we do what we can. But yeah, we are recording live on YouTube at the CAPMAX Gaming YouTube channel, and then eventually this will be edited over for the pure audio version over at Podomatic, is it? I haven't done this in months. I don't remember any of this stuff anymore. Yeah, Podomatic.
I think trying to record the audio on my side is probably breaking it, so I'm just going to stop doing that.
That's okay. Here, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to do that. And of course, we have the chat going live. Shout out to Aussie and Temp Act who are in the chat already. Thanks for joining us today. Aussie likes our webcam. Same one, but it's a good one. Better be. I think it was like almost $100 or something. I was going to use it for YouTube stuff. But now,
Kind of webcam.
Logitech something. It's got like two
C9200.
Damn.
Probably. It's pretty common.
Yeah.
Well, it was good back in the day, at least. Anyways, this is a podcast, allegedly. We talk about video games and movies and shows and life in general. So let's get to meet our guests a bit. We're going to start with Sean. Sean, how's it going? Welcome back.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, things are good. I'm in the process of trying to sell my house and moving back into my parents' house and sorting everything out.
Huh. Why are you doing that? Just
I was deployed for 6 months, and 2.5 months in, I got a Facebook message from my then wife letting me know that she wouldn't be there when I got home.
What?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Damn.
So don't worry. Luckily, we put all of our debt in my name beforehand, so I'm on the hook for everything.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the good news.
Man, it's gonna be a rough episode.
Yeah, and that's what I've been up to.
Don't worry, Star Trek to cheer us up.
Was it just because of the being away for so long, or
she said
we don't have to pry too deep, of course, but
no, that's fine. She I don't care. It's her shit, not mine. She wasn't happy. She said she had to find herself now that her kid no longer needs to live with us and she is debt free. So
yeah, man, women, I tell you.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was gone a lot. I've been gone for at least 6 months, 3 out of the last 4 years. Wow. So I have been gone a lot. That could be a contributing factor, but yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Things will be better in the long run.
Well, that's life sometimes. Well, hopefully it all works out.
No, but it'll be great. We gutted and renovated my parents' basement. They lived here for 22-ish years, and it was basically just storage up until September of last year. So some of the guys came over from some guys that I knew from work came over, and they got rid of all the old garbage, all the old toys, Ghostbusters, Turtles, He-Man, G.I. Joe, Star Wars, and threw it all in a dumpster.
No.
Oh, I was going to say got rid of. Oh.
Yeah, all of it right in a dumpster. Then I had another friend come over, and he renovated the whole basement for me while I was gone. So it's good. Things are good.
Huh. All right. Well, less clutter, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Less junk to move. Huh. Alrighty. Damn. No, now I'm bummed out. Well, I hope it all works out.
Don't be bummed out, Steven. Things are like my mom gets to retire now because I'm living here. My dog is in a better spot because she's not getting screamed at for every little thing that she does. And apparently I don't have to worry about going to sea. And, the chances of me getting a Facebook message from my mom saying, "Hey, I don't want to be your mother anymore," are very slim. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Life.
Well, yeah, so don't be bummed out. Things are gonna be okay. I got a good plan. 5 years from now, everything's gonna be awesome.
So you have to look at it, man. Fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Just dropping the baggage, moving on.
Yep.
Sounds good to me. I've been trying to downsize, but then I buy more junk and it replaces the old junk. You know what, though? I've got a person after this show who's allegedly going to be buying a couple of my old Nerf blasters.
Ooh.
Still making that money, even though I don't have a job. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a bit. All right. So, have any fun Navy stories for us?
Fun ones. I don't know about fun. I was gone for 6 months, so we were in the Mediterranean Sea for a lot of it, and some up in the Baltic. Norway was very cool. Amsterdam was neat. A lot of fun ports this time that I hadn't been to. Some of the same ones. Egypt. I'll never go back there.
What?
I know. You've been waiting to hear this Egypt story, so I'm gonna drop this on you.
Okay.
Egypt.
Egypt.
How do you park a boat in Egypt? All this desert. I don't understand.
Ram it into the bar. The sandbar.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to push it back
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, Egypt itself is like a beautiful spot. It's really warm and it smells like camel shit, but it's a lot of nice scenery. So we took these buses into Cairo to go to the pyramids because we were in Alexandria because that's the port town. So the bus ride there was fine. It was like a 2-hour bus ride, 3-ish hours, and we get there and before we get off, now we had heard stories about don't engage with the locals because they're pushy when it comes to sales and selling things.
Yeah.
I had been to Turkey where I was told the same thing, and in Turkey it was I found them to be pushy there, and really all they would do there is they would try and invite you into their shop, and once you were in their shop, they would try and give you drinks and smoke and stuff like that. But it wasn't like in your face. It was just like, hey, come to my shop, that kind of thing. Which for me, that was the level of pushiness that I could handle. In Egypt, as soon as you get off the bus, they were all over us, like to the point that they were putting like the little hats that they wear. It's like a rope with the flowing cloth. They were putting them on people as they were coming off the bus, like just putting them on, telling them, "Oh, this is a gift. This is a gift." And putting things in people's bags, and saying, "Oh, it's a gift, welcome to Egypt," stuff like that. And then as you go to, you said thank you, and you go to walk away, it's clearly not a fucking gift. They're like, "Oh no, now you give me a gift." Like, well, that's not how a gift. So like physically touching you, grabbing you, putting things in your bags, in your backpacks, putting pieces of clothing on you, like just all over you as soon as you get off the bus. And it's from the time you get off the bus at the pyramids until the time you get on the bus to leave the pyramids. It's just a constant swarm of people. It's a pile of shit. They're just all over you. And you're hearing this and you're like, oh, there's no way it's like that.
But that's the way you don't do podcasts.
It is like they're all over you. People we had camel rides that were included in the package that we bought. So people were getting on camels and a local would guide the camel down to the pyramids. And then when they would get down there, they would take their phone from them to take a picture of them on the camel. They wouldn't let them off the camel until they paid them, and they wouldn't give their phone back until they paid them.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So you're sitting there on top of this camel, and camels they're tall. They're way taller than I thought they were. Much higher than a horse. So you're on top of this camel. The guy won't tell the camel to get down and won't let you off. And then when you do get down, you finally pay him and you do get down, he won't give you your fucking phone back. Like some guy tried to pull my phone from my hand as I was taking a picture, and I had to like put my hand on his chest and tell him to leave me alone. It is. I've never experienced anything like it in my life, and I will never go back because of it. Egyptians are the reason that I will never go back to Egypt. It was just so aggressive, so physical, like. And I have friends there who are like really nervous and shy. So these guys are dumping shit in their bags and putting clothing on them and taking their phone. And they're just taking out their wallet and handing them money. Like, oh, it was,
wait, your Navy friends were nervous and shy?
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I have concerns about that right there.
Yes. So I mean, Egypt.
Please don't
don't go.
Guns at us.
You can Google pictures of the pyramids. You can Google pictures of the Sphinx. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way these days. It's like with my fabled trip to Japan. It's like, yeah, I'd sure love to, but at the same time, everything I would want to buy, I can pretty much order in off the internet now. And I don't have to worry about, foreign languages and hotels and all that stuff. I mean, I still want to go, but
yeah, they're pretty friendly over there. So I mean, it's a different atmosphere.
Well, what about them? Their pyramids? They were pretty big, yeah.
They were big. Quite big. Not as big as I thought they would be.
I'd say bigger.
That's how I felt about a lot of like really big monuments and stuff that I've visited. I've never been there, but like the only thing I've been really excited for that I've actually seen is the Grand Canyon. That was fucking immense when I first saw it, and then when I went to see Mount Rushmore, I was like, wow, this thing's small.
Yeah. See, when I think of Mount Rushmore, I think massive.
Yeah, it doesn't feel massive. Have you actually been there?
No, I have not.
Yeah, no, it's Kicking Horse. Like even though it's not finished, is bigger than Mount Rushmore in its entirety.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
But yeah. Anyway, sorry for interrupting your story.
No. That was the end of my story. Just don't go to Egypt because Egyptians suck.
Fair enough. Fair enough. He's keeping
Yeah.
it real 24/7, 365.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
so
yeah, that was my fun Navy story, I guess.
yeah, sort of fun. Kevin's joined us in the chat. He says Brock sounds really low, so I've just upped his volume. Hopefully that'll help. And thanks for joining us today, Kevin. And Tim Kent wishes us all the best with be it lost jobs and divorces. Very good, very good.
Why is the chat not working for me?
Man, there's always issues setting all this stuff up.
Yeah, like
Volume,
I don't see the chat working at all either.
Really? Do you have which link do you have open? Do you have the I just have literally that YouTube link, the public one open, and I just paused the video.
Oh.
I popped the chat out and closed the window, and that's probably why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I'll keep you up to date if anyone says anything towards you guys. Any hurtful racial slurs from Kevin or whatever.
Oh, whoa.
Sounds like Kevin.
Yeah. I don't know why that's becoming a running gag, but I just like the racial slurs line. Okay, so how'd they move them their blocks to make a pyramid? Did you figure it out?
Aliens.
Probably. Okay, so okay, someone needs to pause their video because I can hear me. Did you figure it out?
Aliens.
Probably.
Oh, hold on a second. Now I opened the. Now I.
Yeah, that's not me. I have the volume muted on the video. I got the chat.
Hey, boys, this is live.
We're so professional.
Yeah. As long as we're having fun, hopefully anyone listening or watching is having fun as well.
I got the chat.
Hey, boys, this is live. Yeah. As long as we're having fun, hopefully anyone listening. All right, someone still has it open.
I got the chat.
Gentlemen. This is live.
No.
It was me. I had it open on Twitter. Holy hell!
Twitter.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Are we here?
Yeah. So sorry.
Are
what
we
was
only live?
What was your question?
Pyramids. How'd they move them blocks up there?
Oh.
Tell me.
Aliens.
Waves and wooden blocks. I would. Like,
yeah, I assume.
Rollers. I would assume.
That's what I assume it was, but I can't be certain.
Like you could touch them, right? You could, like, they're very.
Yeah, you can go right up to them. I mean, they're people size. They're each block is as tall as I was. So.
Oh.
It's
doable. I haven't been there, so I don't know.
Yeah,
like big.
About how high are they exactly?
Anything's doable with enough slaves. That's a quote that I hope doesn't get captured and shared around the internet.
No one listens to these things.
They're
except for 2 viewers. 3 viewers.
Maybe like a 5-story apartment building about that height.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
I do want to see them, but like you said, I mean, at the same time, you could watch those mummy movies. You could watch Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
wait, did Indiana Jones go to Egypt?
He went to Alexandria.
Okay, so
that was the first one, right?
Yes.
In the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the mummy movies. Fifth Element. That's all I need to know about.
That's it. That's all you got to see.
That's all I need. I love that movie. That's all I really need. It's like, I could go to Egypt, or I could watch Fifth Element.
Yeah,
that Mila Jovovich.
It's history. It's the history of Egypt.
Basically, Luke Perry was there. He'll tell you what's up. Okay, moving on. So Sean are you still allegedly P1 of the Cartridge Club? Are you still the king of that castle?
Well, I mean, I'm still P1. I don't think that's not a position or anything.
I mean, it kind of is.
Yeah, well, I guess, yeah. So, but I don't I don't have any official role within the club anymore. Musty and Rocket Sauce took over hosting of the Prime, and as well between them, Derek, Dean, Travis. I'm not sure who else. I know that the day-to-day stuff within the club is being handled by all those guys. So I don't have any official position or any responsibilities.
Interesting. It makes me think of Game of Thrones, like with people trying to get on the Iron Throne. Is that coming back? It must be coming back pretty soon, yeah?
Yeah,
April, yeah.
Ooh.
8 episodes.
Neat.
Coming to an end.
Neat. Okay. Do you want to give a quick shout out to the Cartridge Club organization then?
Yeah, definitely check it out if you like video games and you're not a douchebag. It's a great spot to go and hang out with people and just talk to them and enjoy gaming. They have a website, www.cartridgeclub.org, and they also have 2 Game of the Month podcasts, one specifically for handheld games, which I was overruled on the name. I suggested we call it Cartridge Club Handy. I got overruled, and
just
the other one,
quick handy, man.
just a quick handy. That's right,
quick handy.
And the other is Cartridge Club Prime, where they play games across all different platforms. And there's a podcast for both of those where anybody can be a guest on now that the dictatorship is no longer hosting. Yeah, it's a real good time. It's where I met Steven.
It's true. Man, that was a good time back then. Nowadays, I don't know. Lots of paywalls. I don't know about these paywalls. I'm against that sort of thing. I like that Musty Hobbit has been streaming, though. That's streaming, man. That's where it's at. No one cares about YouTube so much anymore. There's so much drama and politics with YouTube now. It's really shouldn't be an issue.
You got to deal with the copyright system.
Yeah,
it's really bad now.
Fair use and all that. Everyone's got to be a lawyer.
I just went through, and anytime I was subscribed to a channel whose thumbnail for their latest video was a inflammatory statement followed by a picture of them with their mouth open,
reacting,
and I unsubbed. That was, I don't need to see any of these types of videos. Thanks. So now it's
YouTube will recommend them now.
Oh yeah, they will. Yeah.
The algorithm likes.
It's like what I was saying on Twitter about the Nintendo Direct effect is you go from like prediction videos to reaction videos, and it's just you have that day before predictions, and then the day after react.
I mean, it's not really hard to predict what Nintendo's going to announce at a Nintendo Direct. Like, it's pretty much like clockwork at this point.
Man, I wasn't guessing that Link's Awakening was coming up, but we'll get to that.
That looks pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Mario Maker, people have been wanting a sequel or like a one on the Switch for years now, so.
Yeah. It didn't look very sequely though. You can make slopes now. Ooh.
Well, hey, what are you gonna do to Mario, like the 2D Mario formula, really?
They should give us a 3D Mario Maker.
Well, hey, maybe that's next. 3D Mario World Maker.
Yeah, that'd
be legit.
Yeah.
I don't want to play levels that you created. You're not a game designer. Your levels are going to suck.
You monster.
You know what I mean? Like, Nintendo's levels are so finely tuned to be like the perfect level of challenge and explanation as you're playing it. And I have no desire to play a level that was hammered together by some meatball who thinks because he has a webcam that he's a fucking game designer now. You know, like I didn't buy Mario Maker 1. I'm not going to buy Mario Maker 2.
Davey Sean is mean.
I have a problem with like the really badly designed levels where it's just like you have to do pinpoint precision jumps to like the level. Like that doesn't seem fun. But if it's actually like you built in the spirit of Mario, then hey, what's the harm in it?
Yeah. Well,
I think more Mario.
I mean, if it is a friendly version of Musty Hobbit's like, hey, Sean, check out this level I made just for you.
Musty's a biochemical engineer. If he said, hey, Sean, try out this serum, sure, I'll inject that. But you know what I mean?
I don't know if that's a great idea.
I trust him.
All right. You know? Patient Zero coming at you.
Yeah.
Man, if I could be Patient Zero and spread the zombie apocalypse, I thought about this a lot of work. I'm like, maybe I owe it to the planet. You know, there's so many people and shit's falling apart. If we could just thin the herd a bit with some zombies, I mean, who wouldn't want to be in love?
I think zombies would honestly like it would just kind of pile out of control. I think we need something that's a little bit more one and done that kind of calls the herd.
You mean you want to push the button?
Yeah. And the button wouldn't hurt.
Button's a good one too. But it depends what's going to happen. Like if you're talking about radiation, suddenly it's like Stalker or the Metro. Hey, that's not a great solution either.
The Metro games are pretty cool. Stalker's pretty cool too. Although the fact that we never got Stalker 2 is kind of a shame.
Well, there's mods. I mean,
well, yeah,
gotta be one of those modded games.
Yeah, it's one of those games you kind of have to mod to actually play it now.
I hate when people say that. That's what I hate about PC gaming. It's like, oh, can't play Skyrim until you install these 500 mods first. Like, God damn it.
Well, okay, to be fair, I can't play New Vegas and like a lot of the Fallout games without modding the shit out of them because they just feel either incomplete or I've already had that experience before and I want something more.
It's just, I guess it's PC gamer mentality. It's just the option is there, so why not make everything better?
Exactly. It's like, why not tweak the game to be exactly how I want it to be just so I can have the peak amount of fun?
Yeah. It's an interesting culture. That's an episode right there. PC gaming culture. Feels like all my main topics are just directed at everything that Kevin has said lately. Our main topic this episode being old trick versus new trick, if we get that far.
That's gonna be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, and Sean, if you do need to leave at that point, if it just gets too crazy.
I'll let you know. I won't
be
my camera off right now because I'm just eating supper, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. Time zones too. Man, forget about it.
Yeah.
We're on the west coast of the continent. He's on the east coast of the continent. How's it going over there for snow? You got lots of snow?
No, we had a really mild. Well, I missed most the first half of it, but since I got home, we've had a really mild. We had one snowfall last week-ish, and we got another one coming up tomorrow. But it's been nothing more than like 15-ish centimeters. So it's been pretty.
Yeah, we got some crazy snow for the west coast like last week.
Kind of came out of nowhere, and then it kind of came back again. And
is it back on the mainland here?
Yeah, it came back. Although it's not as much of it sticking this time around. It's not nearly as cold. It's more of just like slushy bullshit. But
slushy bullshit. Possible episode title. No. Yeah, we're pretty much out of it now. My last full week at work was mostly just shoveling snow. I was like, yeah, I'm looking forward to not having to worry about this sort of thing for a while. But we'll get to that too. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Is Sean muted? Did Sean leave us?
No, I'm still here. I'm muted. I'm just muted so you don't hear me chewing my fish sticks.
Okay. Sure. Okay, so we mentioned Cartridge Club. Yeah, check out their streams. Musty's frame rate isn't the best, but I mean, I could figure more or less what was going on when he was playing Catherine on, I guess, the PS3? PS3. Yeah. That'd be a curious game to do a podcast on.
Playing the old version of Catherine, not the full.
Yeah, I don't know how they pick it, but yeah, the new version of the game's coming out pretty soon. I think
it's already out.
Is it?
Yeah, because people have already been bitching and complaining about problematic character and ending and all that.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's all over the internet.
Because
one of the characters doesn't. I'm not gonna spoil it. Never mind.
Okay.
Let's not go there.
GG. All right. And do you have some dog talk for us? You say you only have one dog now?
Yeah, so I did have two. I had Shadow, my Australian cattle dog, who is currently chewing on her foot. And I had Cooper, the Yorkie poo, who's a small little jerk. And that was when I got home, Cooper was gone. So
damn.
Lost him in the split.
So he's still alive, just with the missus?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was the only thing that I was actually sad about in the whole event. But
yeah,
what can you do?
That's one less dog to drape yourself in, right?
That's right. Yeah, I like to. That's my stress relief, to drape myself in dogs.
Yeah. Just coat me in dogs.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Like, that's the stuff.
If you've never tried it, I definitely. I mean, assuming you like dogs, I definitely recommend it.
Well, it's like those Twitter clips where it's like just a bunch of puppies and they're
yeah, that's heaven. When eventually I will retire, and I'm going to retire and just live in a sea of puppies.
The smell, though, I don't know. Well, too much of any pet can be out of control. What you need is some of those Far Cry primal pets where you have like a saber-tooth tiger and you just go and then it just runs up to her, and then you're like, all right, you've killed those cavemen. Get out of here. And then you're like, that's the good life right there. But we'll get to that soon enough. Where am I on my own list? This list doesn't make sense.
It looks like a dry cleaning slip.
Yeah, you know what these are? These are my time cards. I have hundreds of these things.
Oh,
won't be needing those anymore.
No, right. my job is so ghetto.
You're not still
ghetto.
You're not still punching your own clock when you wake up in the morning. Like, okay, gotta
Man, I set my alarm and I went back to sleep real quick to this.
He stole the time clock from work and he's just got it mounted to his wall.
Yeah, that's right.
God.
Working the eBay from 10 to 2 and then
Yeah. No. There's nothing left to salvage in that place, trust me. But we'll get to that real quick. Let me just do it. Oh, okay. Put them in. Okay. I got it. It all makes sense. Okay, cool. That's Sean. Thanks for being here today. Episode 28 of the CAPMAX HYPECAST. And let's chat with Brock for a bit. Brock, how's it going?
Pretty good, man.
Mm-hmm. So Brock will be a member of the Gaming Pilgrimage group, the podcast.
Still am.
Yeah. See, it's the exact same thing like with this show. It's just busy adult lifestyles. Everyone's got jobs and schedules are tricky to align.
Yeah, well, hell, we recorded like 121 episodes or so, or 122. I think 121 of them are out. There is an unreleased episode, which we recorded a long time ago that probably wouldn't be super relevant anymore, but I might release it at some point, you know. It's fun to edit and fun to do sometimes, but yeah, we're trying to get back into that.
Yeah, so the less picky you are with editing, the better you'll have.
I've gotten really picky with editing, so like any sort of audio glitch or any sort of like weird sounds coming out of people's mouths, I try to get rid of and make it as clean sounding as possible. But that does take a long time, especially when your podcasts are close to 2 hours sometimes. You know, but you know, you do what you can.
Yeah, it can be tricky, but yeah. Like it all depends on what you want to do as far as the content creation, if you even want to do it at all for a while.
Yeah,
we all
really
take
feel
breaks.
like doing it for a while. Like I just felt like I just didn't feel like editing every week. Like it got to a point where I was editing for like if a 2-hour podcast sometimes takes 3 or 4 hours to edit, and that's just not feasible in some of my situations at the moment.
And there are people that literally do that for work. Like it is someone's job to do exactly that.
Yeah.
But of course, they're getting paid versus this sort of stuff where it's smaller, just our volunteering of time.
Oh yeah, no, it's more just a hobby. Like I like doing it. It was kind of an excuse to like hang out with friends and kind of
Yeah, exactly. That's what I like about these. It just gives me a chance to chat with the bros. Haven't seen or heard from in a while. Because at the end of the day, if the recording gets lost somehow, then at least we'll have the memories.
Exactly.
But let's hope that doesn't happen. It looks like the chat is still going. Everything still seems to be going. I have I paused it with Sean just taking a drink out of his Tim Hortons cup.
I completely closed the chat because like it was I thought the sound was coming from my end, so I didn't want it to.
Yeah, it's okay.
It was me. I was the asshole.
Oh, well, fair. Sorry.
Fair. I'm alone with the camera going now too. Sean's camera was dying. Brock's camera. You don't have a camera, right?
I don't have a web. Well, I could whip out my Vive and like put my Vive like on the top of my computer and point the camera at me.
That's pretty wild, man. We could have like virtual Brock, like 3D.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, 3D. No, it's not virtual. It's just the original. So it's only one camera.
Have you seen those cameras where it's like 360?
Would that be like you're here in the room with me?
Damn.
Yep. Be creeping right next to you.
That's hot. You seen those cameras where like the GoPros where you just have like a 360-degree thing? You can just look at every angle.
Oh yeah, you do like a photosphere or something like that. Those are pretty easy to do with most like phones or like GoPros, really anything.
Those are neat. It's like my phone has virtual reality. What does this mean? It's like, oh, neat.
Yeah, if you get those virtual reality headsets for your phone, you can like put your you can be inside one of those photospheres. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of. Well, I mean, it's super ghetto VR, but it's cute. It's fun.
It'll get better. Obviously, screens are getting better. And
yeah, you see that new phone that turns into a tablet?
Yeah, the Galaxy Fold. It's $2,000 US, only launching in the United States. So I don't think it's ready yet.
Yeah. Well, we have a fine selection of Huawei phones to pick from here in Canada, so nothing to worry about.
Those are going to get banned, dude. Let's be real.
I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. We kidnapped their princess in Vancouver, and then we held her ransom, and then
it was their CFO, man, and she was like
same thing,
giving money to Iran or something like that. It doesn't look.
That's
good
unconfirmed, Mister.
Yes, it has.
I don't
That's
think
why she's being extradited to the United States.
They just asked us to, and we're like, oh, okay.
Well, I mean, we should. But
I don't know, man. It's weird. I mean, Vancouver. I mean, let's be real. Like, how much of that is legit? Probably not a lot of it. I remember when the best thing about going to Richmond and Vancouver was buying all the bootleg anime DVDs and movies.
Yeah, last time we went to Richmond, we couldn't find anything.
I know they're getting better at hiding.
Yeah, we gotta go down some like dark alleys.
By the way,
that
I've been meaning
arcade's
to.
still there.
I've been meaning to do another day trip since I had this vacation to work with. If you
Yeah.
want to meet up, I even have an orc toy. I don't know if you want an orc toy. It looks pretty cool.
A what?
An orc toy.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll show you a picture later. I have it up on my local ads, but I don't know if anyone wants it. But it's pretty. It looks like a McFarlane kind of figure. You know,
okay.
maybe it's Warcraft or something. I don't know.
Well, if it's Warcraft, I can tell you.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture later. But yeah,
One of those things that I play religiously because I'm a hopeless World of Warcraft addict.
if I do go for the day, I'll send you a message if you want to meet up. If you'll be
man.
around.
Yeah, I'm around most of the time. It's just whether or not I'm working. My schedule's been really fucked after Christmas. Like day on, day off, day on, day off.
Yeah. Well, without skipping ahead to my stuff, it's like one of the reasons why I quit my job is because I've been trying to find a better job, and I just never had the time for anything. It feels like.
Oh yeah, no,
And
I know that. I know that feeling.
Yeah, it's I guess a catch-22 because you've got a job, but it's an awful job that doesn't pay well, and then you know there's better stuff out there, but you can't look for them because you're too tired at the end of the day. I don't even have a car, so I got to walk home, or if I got to go grocery shopping, then I got to take a bus somewhere and go downtown. All this stuff.
The same ways when I was working at Walmart's overnight in like the warehouse, doing like receiving and shit like that. That 3 months of my life was not great. Walmart turns through people, and it really grinds your soul.
Oh yes. Well, I've been grinding for 8 years, boys. I'm ready to move on, but we'll get to that. This is still Brock's time, believe it or not. You told us though that you, in fact, had a new job. If you want to.
Well, it's not new at this point. I've only been here a year now, so been working at the Source. I've been doing like smartphone sales and stuff like that. So commission sales. It's all right. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's definitely during the day. It's definitely something I enjoy. Like I'm pretty good at selling things, so it's if I get the customers in the store, I can usually sell. It's just being in the location I'm at. The foot traffic is quite poor.
I'm guessing it's at the Metrotown location.
No. I'm working in the Handy Place Mall, so like there's nothing. Like it's a very small town mall. The hours are very short. After Christmas, not many people have money.
Yeah, well, there's not much in stock in stores right now, anyways.
Our store's pretty good in terms of like general consumer electronic stuff, keyboards, mice, headsets.
Source. Yeah, that used to be Radio Shack, more or less, right?
Yeah, a lot of people still think we're Radio Shack. Like, it's really funny to tell people that Radio Shack hasn't existed in like 11 years.
Busy adult lifestyle.
They closed in 2008, and they became the Source from Circuit City, and then they went bankrupt in 2014, and then Circuit City sold the Source to Bell Canada. Now I'm essentially a Bell employee, so I'm working for one of the big evil 3 telecoms.
Yeah,
but you got a good cell phone plan.
Yeah, those guys got a pretty good deal out of Canada, didn't they?
Oh yeah, no, it's a monopoly like that. It's run by 3 people.
Yeah, what a world, eh, boys? Yeah. What a world. All right, let's move on. I'm getting depressed. So do you think there is any new content coming out for the Gaming Pilgrimage group?
I would assume so.
Zaibatsu.
We have been watching, me, Darren, and Alex, our co-host on the Gaming Pilgrimage podcast. We have been watching. We finished Gundam. What is it called? The Shar's Counterattack, and then we proceeded to watch about half of Unicorn. So,
yeah. Does it get better? I started watching and I was just really bored. They did know how to drive the robot, and it was like,
what series are you talking about?
Unicorn.
Yeah, after the first couple episodes are definitely. Or did you watch the episode versions or the OVA versions?
I think episodes.
Okay, yeah. If you're watching the 20-minute episode versions, it doesn't seem like a full story. You kind of need to watch like 3 episodes to get what the content would be in the first OVA. It kind of ends better too. It's a lot better paced in the OVA versions. They made them into movies after the fact just because they weren't doing too well on the overseas. But the new series is out now. I believe it comes out in a couple days.
Yeah, well, that's a deep well, Gundam.
That's a deep well. Yeah, no, I'm not the Gundam expert. I literally just watch it because of like one of the only animes I enjoy are robots and mecha.
I hear that, brother.
Yeah, like I really like mecha anime, and I want more Psychopaths, to be honest, but we got that coming too. So
Well, you know, it's coming out. It's the next Evangelion movie. Oh boy!
I've been waiting for Evangelion Final for years.
Oh
I mean, back when it
boy!
was called Evangelion, what was it, 3.0 plus 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that I'm really looking forward to see how it ends. Like, as much as people say Evangelion's pretentious garbage, I love this pretentious garbage.
I hate that people hate the third one because it's one of my favorite anime movies.
I've turned around on the third one. Like, when I first watched it, I'm like, this seems so disconnected and like.
Yeah, that's
But
what I like about it. It's the
yeah,
most
I like that it's
most
different.
original of all of them. The rest were kind of just, you know, literally just remakes of the original TV
The
series.
first rebuild was. The second rebuild, not so much. Like, the second rebuild actually started going like away from the series, as well as, like, you know, End of Eva and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Which, End of Eva is a trip.
Yeah.
That's
an adventure right there.
I really want to see what they're gonna do with the fourth movie.
Oh man.
I don't know how they could end it possibly at this point.
I'm so excited. It's actually happening. It's like if Half-Life 3 were actually a thing.
Well, I mean, the dude released that like story that was all gender swapped, which was essentially the plot of Half-Life 3. Yeah. So we got to read the ending, which is good enough for me at this point.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for Half-Life VR because that's totally in the works. And
isn't it?
Oh yeah, Valve's been working on 3 secret VR titles for a very long time. One of them is probably going to be CS. The other one's probably going to be Half-Life, and the other one will probably be either Left 4 Dead or Portal.
That's a lot of 3s.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
But they probably won't do a Half-Life 3. It'll probably just be a remaster of Half-Life 2 and Episode 1 and 2, but in VR. Which
I feel like the fans could already do that.
Oh, they definitely could. Like, some of them are already working on.
Yeah, I'm sure they have. Yeah.
People love Half-Life, man.
Yeah. Some properties though, I feel it is best to move on. It's like Mega Man Legends. Like, yeah, you gotta let it go sometimes.
I don't know. I've never had a serious attachment to Mega Man Legends, so I never really got the whole. We didn't get Mega Man Legends 3. Like, they were good games on the PlayStation 1. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah,
I never needed it.
It'd be a good thing for them to remake the Legends games
totally.
if they ever actually did want to finish the story. But you know, don't hold your breath. It's like Silent Hills. Okay, now I'm getting depressed because I have PT on my PS4. Like, I have it in the PSN library, but I can't actually download it because the data isn't there to be downloaded anymore.
They removed it off the servers, but I mean, if you have a modified PS4, you can install PT.
It's a lot of work. Well, someone put PT on the PC, didn't they?
Yeah, someone ported it to PC. The VR version doesn't work, but you can play it pretty much entirely on PC.
Yeah, I saw it on streams. You just run around a big hallway.
It's a tech demo.
Yeah, look cool. I mean,
yeah, it would have been pretty cool. But I mean, now we're getting what do you call it instead? Death Stranding, whatever the hell that game is.
Yeah, someday maybe.
Someday, yeah, maybe.
I think Kojima is just too expensive. Like, I think Sony's figuring out right now why Konami was done with him. It's just like, the story just makes less and less sense each time he updates it.
Well, hell, look at the Metal Gear franchise and tell me that makes sense.
No, I'm not. Exactly.
It never made sense from the very beginning. Like, it's once we started talking about super soldiers and clones and all this sort of shit, you're like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah. It's all just wrapping paper for a basic gameplay concept of stealth mechanics and all that.
I still will stand by that. I think Metal Gear Solid 2 is like still my favorite Metal Gear Solid game, which is not what most people would say.
Yeah, I only ever really played the PS1 Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the older style better, where like the fixed camera was a thing. Like, I think 3 is better in its original form and not Subsistence. The like fixed camera non-first person version. It seems a lot more like the first and second game. Like, they seem more in line with that. That's what I originally played them as well.
Yeah.
So I experienced 3 in a whole different way.
Yeah. It's too bad about that Survive though.
Oh, I forgot that even existed.
That's just like Sean was talking about his own breakup, and man, that Kojima Konami breakup, ooh, vicious. Ooh.
It was, but like, after how long did no one talk about Survive? Like, it seemed like they talked about it for a few weeks and then it just disappeared.
I think it's one of those games that people barely even care to try. You know, it's the whole like hashtag fuck Konami and all that, and it's just the cool thing is to not even support anything they do, which is unfortunate because, you know, I want to see another Silent Hill or whatever come out. They just did all these Resident Evils that are kicking ass. I'm just like, I don't honestly care so much about Resident Evil. I'm a
I'm
Silent
really
Hill guy.
surprised they turned Resident Evil around after like 6. Like Resident Evil 6 was pretty rough. Even 5, I didn't like 5 that much. Like I prefer the older ones, 1 through 4, kind of the classic Resident Evil.
It's still surprising they did that whole first person one. Like what a twist. Yeah, I started. I was like, eh. And then the new one's out where it's just 2 again.
I mean, that's what people wanted. They wanted a survival horror game again, and they got it. So
yeah. No, it's great. It's just not for me.
No, I wouldn't say the new ones are for me.
It's like with Devil May Cry. It's like, it's not for me. It looks good. I mean, for people that like those games, I'm sure they're going to have a grand old time. But it's
character action games are usually pretty good. But like, I don't know. Ever since I played Metal Gear Rising, I haven't found another character action game that has surpassed it in terms of its combat. I just love the way Metal Gear Rising plays.
I haven't played that one yet. That's it's only on PS3, right?
No, it's on PC as well.
I mean, as far as consoles, was it on PS4? Do you recall?
I don't believe so.
Rising?
No, I think it was PS3.
It's definitely PS3. I thought it was 360 as well. I'm gonna look it up.
I'm sure
it was. Yeah, it was.
I'm just talking about like gen wise.
PC.
If maybe Xbox One has backwards.
Like it definitely like it's a short game, but it's meant to be one of those games where you replay it a bunch and you get really really good at the fights and learn how to do like S rankings and
Yeah, PS3, Xbox 360, and Windows. Yeah.
The Windows versions kind of it was buggy when it first came out, but now it works.
Alrighty, cool. Well, that was Brock. So thanks for being here as well today. And of course, I am Steven. Everyone, thanks for listening to this latest episode of the CAPMAX HYPECAST Live, episode 28. So I don't have a job anymore. I'm a hobo at this point. It kind of dawned on me that I was working a job. It was full time. It pays the bills, but it just
doesn't stimulate you emotionally.
No, no, I had to move on. It was just there was nothing happening there. Like I've seen so many people leave that job for better jobs over the years, and I'm like, why not Steven? And like our manager, who was our manager for most of that time, we'll say 7. Yeah, I guess 7 years. Like he actually had a stroke, and he had fancy cars because he made big manager money. He had like a fancy Corvette with a see-through hood so you can see the engine and all that stuff. But like he had a stroke in his face, which is a thing apparently, and he can barely see now. And that's not great when you have a fancy, expensive car. So he pretty much couldn't do the work anymore. So they brought in some random new guy, and he's suddenly telling me all these things they'll be doing. Like, oh yeah, we'll do all this training for you and all this promotional stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I was told this exact same spiel many years ago, and nothing ever happened. And things just progressively got worse year after year. Like they used to do Christmas parties, just troop morale building, and none of that's there anymore. And you get this, you're just slogging through this toxic environment day after day, week after week, and it's like, why? Honestly, they weren't paying me enough for it to be worth the trouble. Like even if I found a job that paid less, like it would still. There's still so many better things out there, especially right now. Apparently, the job market looks pretty good. And like I have a certificate in like hotels and hospitality and that stuff because where I am, Victoria, there's definitely a big tourist scene going on. So I'm like, sure, let's apply for some of those. Sean was even suggesting I could even look into the Navy. Sure, we've got one of those over there. There.
Yeah, out that way somewhere.
Yeah.
And you know what? You get the good ports. You get Japan, Hawaii, Australia. Like you go to a lot of great places. Singapore, Thailand, like
Russia, North Korea.
Yeah. But more importantly, not Egypt.
Oh. just get a wrap up a newspaper, bottom on the nose. No tour. No.
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna bring a spray bottle full of lemon juice next time.
Yeah, there you go. They'll help with the smell, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I finally worked up the nerve to just say, sorry guys, thanks for not much of anything, but I'm ready to look for something better now, and here I am. So this is actually my first official day of no jobbing in, like I said, almost 8 years now, and I'm just like I was almost speechless when they told me had been that long. I'm like, what have I done? You know?
So you haven't moved up. You've been doing the exact same job for 8 straight years.
Exactly.
That's
Oh my God.
rough.
Yeah. Like they might throw a buck raise at me every 2 years or something. Wow, thanks guys. But then I'm like, you know what? Minimum wage has a steadier increase in BC than my wages here are, and I'm just like, I don't know. It's just an awful fake.
Like, there you go. I said once minimum wage hits 15 in BC, then what are all these people who have already been making 15, right?
Yeah.
Like
That's the thing. It's like when you see it catching up with your non-minimum wage raises, it's like, no.
Yeah, it hurts.
It's not a great company, and I'm not there anymore, and I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Good.
Even our friend Cartridge Canuck was sending me a job lead today on Twitter. You saw it, Sean.
Yeah. He's with TELUS or somebody, isn't he? Or Bell?
Yeah.
Rogers, maybe one of those telecom companies, and I think he's a lineman.
Yeah, that should be pretty decent wages. But yeah, it's like the sort of thing. Like it was a body shop, and if I tell people I'm working at a body shop, it makes me feel like like a big shot because they make big money there.
Mm-hmm.
But it dawned on me that I wasn't the one making the big money. I was the one helping other people to make big money while I'm just left doing the exact same thing in these god awful work conditions. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? These podcasts I'm listening to, they're fun and all, but man, they've been distracting me for years.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell have I been doing? And I feel like I've finally woken up from a coma, not unlike a Silent Hill storyline, and I'm ready to move on.
Ready to exit the fog.
Yeah.
You should look into that lead from Paul, because I know our linemen down here make $32 an hour.
Mm-hmm. And like another lead I want to follow up is our BC ferries, because obviously we're on a big island here, and everyone has to take a ferry back and forth. And they start their people off like $23 an hour, which is pretty decent for honestly not a lot of work from what I've seen when I've been on the ferry. But yeah, better options are out there. And I recall, like, to be fair, when I started there, it wasn't a great market at the time, so it was a good job for when I started. But yeah, it's just it's only
the market has changed a lot in the last 8 years.
Mm-hmm. It's like with construction, because I remember that definitely goes through ups and downs. There was a time when there was just no work for construction workers anywhere, but right now there's tons of buildings going up all over the place. Whether or not anyone can afford to live in the building, that's another story. But
the buildings aren't for us; they're for foreign investors.
Yeah, it's a good place to hide your money. I watch Scarface. I know what's up. You got to put that money somewhere.
You just need to look at the news, and you got to look at all this money that's being funneled through our casinos that is being laundered. It's been going on for years.
Yeah, well, that's it. You just pay the right people off, and let the good times roll. The world is yours, Chico. Everything in it. Anyways, yeah, Scarface, great movie. Okay, but yeah, that's me. This is their podcast. This is the show. Let's check the chat real quick.
Game Time with Kyle showed up.
Let's go. Aussie wants me to stream some Metal Gear, and it's like, Aussie, come on now. I stream, no one shows up. I stream it odd times a day anyway, so. Say again?
I said I'll stream some Metal Gear Rising. I love that game.
There you go. Do you have a channel that you stream on?
Yeah. Every once in a while. I haven't streamed in a while, but last time I streamed, I beat like Death Road to Canada. I played.
Oh yeah, I saw some of that.
Wrestling. For some reason, wrestling blew up like real big on my channel. For some reason, like some weird wrestling channel hosted me on Twitch, and I got like 2,000 or 3,000 viewers for a couple hours. The one time I was playing with my cousin, it was really bizarre.
Yes, yeah, that happens. That's the fun thing about Twitch. Yeah. I think there's a better sense of community there than YouTube nowadays.
Oh, definitely. You can definitely see there's like pockets of fans that will just come and come specifically for a particular streamer and then stay for whatever they're hosting afterwards, right? And then it really builds some viewers.
It's an interesting alternative to YouTube. But man, when no one shows up, that disappointment hits you fast. It's not like YouTube where it's like, well, maybe the views will show up later.
Honestly, I never streamed to really stream for anyone. I just stream because I don't know. If someone wants to watch me play video games and do that sort of shit, then great. If they want us to hang out, sure. Like I've streamed Monkey Island. I've not been very, vocal. But I'm like, I'm gonna speedrun this game for people on Twitch, and I had a few people watching.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing you can do.
Exactly.
Alrighty, shout out to Kyle in the chat. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, like what Kyle says. Like, if nothing else, my time there is definitely going to look good on a resume. I still need to update my resume, so that's probably coming up next. Actually,
You should get in touch with Dean. Dean helped me do mine up there a little while back. He did a great job.
nice.
Part of his responsibilities at his company involves hiring and looking at resumes and stuff like that, and specifically in the hospitality industry. So
Yeah, similar to what I'm kind of focusing efforts on, just the next province over. Well, all in due time. If nothing else, Valley Village.
move to Banff. Go work for Dean.
Banff. It's like a sound effect.
That's right.
Moving though, man. Like you see all of this. Like, man, I got a lot of downsizing before I can really move. Unless I'm forced to move because I have no money. But that is money in its own way. Those are my assets. If I can get a good buyer on local ads or eBay or whatever. But whatever. Let's move on. Okay. So that's all that. So what you been playing? What you been watching? Who has some games and/or movies they want to talk about? Start with Sean again.
Games. I've been playing Tetris 99.
How is
I love it. I'm terrible at it, but I love it. It's a lot of fun. Gets really stressful. Top 10 finishes make me really happy. It's a big.
I saw Tetris Battle Royale. I was like, excuse me.
Yeah, it's totally weird. I was already a Nintendo Online subscriber, so I didn't. I don't know if it would be worth getting Nintendo Online just for that if you weren't already somebody who was subscribed to it. So for me, already being subscribed, it was like a bonus, and it's a lot of fun. And I've also been playing Captain Toad to sort of fill the gaps. And all of this is while waiting for Anthem. I played the demo weekend, and I had the 10-hour early access last weekend from EA Access. And now I'm just waiting for Friday for the actual game to launch.
What did you make it to in the beta or the early access?
Sorry?
What level did you make it to in Anthem?
In the early access, I got to level 10, I think it was.
All right.
So in 10 hours, I hit level 10.
I've been hearing pretty bad things about Endgame personally right now.
I really enjoyed my time with it.
Apparently, yeah, the level
story
is pretty good. Level story is good.
Yeah, the story is decent. The voice acting I find is amazing. Like it almost seems like they did motion capture for the characters. Really enjoy that, and I like the combat because I'm not like a third person shooter like fanatic, so it's just good enough that I enjoy it. You know what I mean? It's at that level of now I'm only playing on normal difficulty, so I'm sure if I bumped it up it would be different. But it's just at that level where I don't find it frustrating. I still enjoy it. But
like for gear and stuff like that.
So for the character, you level up your pilot, which unlocks new slots in your gear, which means you can equip new things in the gear. So it's like you get two guns that use with your hands, and then two other weapons that are part of the equipment, and those are your loot drops. And then there's augmented slots. There's two different ones where it's like one is a special ability and the other one is like boosts to different parts of your equipment, and that's your real progression. Like as you hit level X, it unlocks another one of those items, another one of those slots for you to put something in. There's tons of loot after each mission, so there's always a lot of stuff to go in and look and see what's best right now anyway. I'm sure as I get higher in level it'll slow down, but there's not a lot of there's no skill tree or anything like that where you have to unlock or spec a specific way like in Warcraft. World of Warcraft is actually the game that it reminds me the most of, because each of the different javelins feels very different, and their roles in the party are all different to the point that it feels more like a Warcraft scenario where you have a tank and you have a DPS and you have or a melee DPS, you have a mage or wizard DPS. And I found with games like The Division and Destiny, well, Division doesn't have classes, but Destiny, it doesn't matter what class makeup you have in your group. It's like a strike team, doesn't matter if you have 3 guys that are, I can't remember the class names now. Warlock, I think. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter what classes you are. They're in Destiny, they all feel the same, right? So you can have 3 guys that are all doing the same thing. But with this, there is a distinct class difference. And we found I was playing with another friend of mine who I used to play Warcraft with, and then Musty Hobbit, who plays a lot of online shooter games. We found that the class makeup really made a difference in how we encountered each scenario, and it made it a lot more fun, a higher level of engagement for us. So that was really good.
I would assume the higher the difficulty goes, the more those classes actually would be.
Exactly, yeah. Like, so we were fighting stuff on normal, and we had one guy playing as the Colossus, and he was using his taunt, and he was drawing fire, and I was a Storm, which is like the wizard class. So I was sort of hovering above the battle, dropping lightning bolts and ice blasts, and Musty was an interceptor, which is like a rogue.
Sounds like
yeah, dude, it's Storm is where it's at.
And I'm always a caster, so like that gets my noggin going.
The Storm can fly almost hover almost indefinitely, where the other classes they like only hover for a short period of time. And he it's literal. Like I have an AOE lightning bolt attack. There was an AOE fire attack. I have single target ice attacks and lightning attacks, and you can mix and match which ones you go in with. I really enjoyed it, and I'm getting it launch day. Musty's getting it. A friend of mine from work, Jay, and his son are both getting it. And Jay was a huge fan of the Division, and he loves Diablo.
Diablo
so
is my danger game.
Yeah. So he really enjoyed it. So a lot of these guys who have different experiences with different types of online games and online like living world games were really enjoying it.
That's good to hear.
And
I want to see BioWare actually make a hit again because boy,
I think a lot of it's getting some slack in a lot of reviews right now, and it's a lot of the lower. It's not like professional reviewers. It's like I have a webcam and a YouTube channel. I'm a reviewer. So I think a lot of them are comparing it to Destiny, and it's other than the fact that they're both online games where you drive a mech suit and you get loot. There's no other comparison. Like the story is so much better. And I like one of the complaints they had was that you don't see the other people in your hub town in between missions. But I like that because it makes the story my story. You know what I mean? I played through Destiny 2. Yeah, like I'm in Destiny 2. I'm getting a quest from Cade 6, and he's like, "You're the only guy who can do this." And there's 6 other assholes standing here right next to him. Yeah, like what do you mean? This guy can't do it?
No, he's not equipped for this shit.
Yeah,
higher, bro.
Yeah, so I really liked it, and I like BioWare a lot. So I'm really stoked.
A little bit of work to do in my eyes to really bring it back on top, but it's looking better. What's the story like? Like, it seems very similar to Destiny. Like the anthem is some sort of what?
Yeah, so you're on this planet, and the anthem of creation is this world changer. It's this alien device that can make drastic changes to the environment around it.
It almost sounds like Destiny in that scenario. That's why I think a lot of people are comparing it because it sounds like the darkness or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, yeah.
There's like the same device and same sort of thing that gives everyone the power.
The anthem doesn't give you your power. It's literally like a world creation device. So it's like it created the plants and it created whatever.
Planet. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so you're on the planet and you're like the people built the javelins, which is the suits, because the planet itself was too dangerous to go out without them. And then there's another faction who splintered off and said, you know what, we want to try and control the anthem instead of living with it. You know what I mean, type thing. And those are the bad guys. It's the main bad faction you're fighting. And yeah, so I mean, I've only really scratched the surface. I've only done like 2 of the mission quests. I did a lot of side stuff and just grouping up with the other guys in the first 10 hours. But it seems like it's gonna, because right now you're in one of the human settlements. I think there's 3 human settlements, and the one you're in now is sort of run down. And I assume we're gonna build it back up as the story goes on. So But I'll let you know. I mean, I'll be tweeting about it nonstop as of Friday.
Gonna stream?
I'm just mainly interested in the end game personally. Like that's kind of what most of those games really have for me. Like I kind of burst through a lot of the stories like pretty quickly.
Yeah, yeah. That's so. My goal is because Warcraft was the same way. Like the journey from 1 to 60 was great. It was and then after beyond that 1 to 80 and stuff. Yeah, I quit a week before Arthas released the Ice Crown.
So you haven't been in there for a while. They've had a pretty good expansion since then, but this current one is pretty bad.
Yeah, my biggest fear is what's going to happen when Classic WoW launches, because that was my gateway drug.
I played the BlizzCon beta for Classic WoW, and I don't think it's what a lot of people want anymore from an MMO.
Well, it's because they might not remember. Like Classic WoW was like, it sucked. You didn't like. You had to find the quest givers. They weren't marked on the map. You had to run to instances. You had to run to zones. You don't get a mount till 40.
Remember Thoughtbot?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the early days of WoW, man. Yeah, no, it's personally not what I want, and I think there are a lot of people that do want Classic WoW. Obviously, the people play on Classic servers and stuff like that, but it's not my thing. I'll stick with retail WoW at least until it crashes and burns, which it's starting to do, honestly.
Yeah. But yeah, so end game, I'm looking forward to the end game because just customizing the javelins, because you unlock at level 1, you pick a javelin. At level 8, you get a second one. 16, you get a third one, and then level 30, I think you get the last one, 24 or something. So you have access to all of them, so you can gear out all the javelins. You can try all the different styles, and your pilot level stays the same. So if I play mainly as a Storm, and then I want to try out a Ranger javelin, well, I'm not starting back at 0 for my Ranger. You know what I mean? His gear might not be as high as it could be because your loot drops are sort of tuned to what javelin you're driving, but at least my pilot level will be high enough that it won't make that, I won't be hindered completely. It's not like I have to level up 4 different characters. So I'm excited for that, but we're like just jumping on and playing with friends was so good. And because I know so many guys that are roughly in my time zone that are getting it now, I do think that we're gonna be able to enjoy the end game.
That's good.
I know there's 3 strongholds, which are like the raids right now at launch. And I'm, by the time I get to max level and get to the point when I'm running those on the hardest difficulty, I'm certain they'll have more that comes out.
Yeah, it's definitely seemed like that because I've seen some streamers who've gotten to max level, and currently a lot of it doesn't seem finished.
Right.
And that's probably just because the day 1 patch isn't out yet. Like they said, a lot of the stuff because there's certain stats apparently at endgame that don't do anything.
Yeah. I heard the
stats.
Yeah, I think stats were broken. There was a couple of quests that weren't tracking properly.
Hey, it's an MMO. It's pseudo MMO-esque. So.
Yeah,
action MMO.
Yeah, like they got guys reviewing this who are trying to review it like the last Call of Duty. You know what I mean? It's like
You're not gonna beat it in 8 hours and expect.
No, no. These games have
they go into it with different expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Needs more puddles.
Yeah, but
good to hear someone who's actually like played it like firsthand because I've heard a lot of just like I've watched a lot of it and I'm like that looks cool, but I would want to try it myself before I actually give it a good shot. But sounds
I definitely recommend giving it a shot. I'm certain they'll have a demo available for it. You know what I mean? Like within a month or two. I mean, really, it's an EA game. It'll be $20 in 6 months.
Oh God, that hurts.
Well, I mean, realistically, right? If it doesn't say Nintendo, that price is coming down.
Oh man, I found Titanfall 2 at Dollarama.
Dude, Titanfall 2 was so good, and it was just released at such a poor time.
Yeah,
like
it's such a weird case for that one.
Battlefield at the time, I think it was. It was just really dumb.
Yeah. So Anthem, that's what I'm looking forward to. And I just watched. I feel like I'm hogging the mic here, but I just watched Umbrella Academy on Netflix, and without spoilers, it was the best superhero television show I've ever seen, and it has the best soundtrack of any show I've ever seen. absolute must watch. If you don't have Netflix, go to the dark web and get this, or get Netflix for a month and watch it. It's only $10. It's so good, so well done. Really, really enjoyed it.
Right on. You know what I picked up the other day with you in mind was Blackwood, is it? Darkwood? Deadwood.
Deadwood. Oh, man. Deadwood is my favorite TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen it before?
No.
You are going to start using the term cocksucker?
Yeah.
It is rife with that word. It's Deadwood is such a good show. I hope you enjoy it, Steven.
It was the you know how like when DVDs came out in their prime, you'd always find they're like a really fancy version of a box set. That's what they were. They were the really fancy Deadwood.
I think I had that. It unfolds like into 4.
Oh, is that the Western with Ian McShane?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I've never seen that, but I like Ian McShane a lot.
This is the first show I ever saw him on. I know he was on Lovejoy, I think it was before that. But this show, yeah, him, Timothy Oliphant is in it. Yeah, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and it's only 3 seasons. So
yeah, I still need to find the 3rd season.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, definitely worth a watch, especially if you like westerns. I'm a big western fan, so but it is there's so much cursing in it. I don't want to say what part of this, but let me know when you're done season 1, because there's an episode in season 1 that brings me to tears every time. And even now, knowing like I've watched this show so many times, there's one episode that crushes me.
Well, hey, if we have the time, we can even do another one of these just about Deadwood.
Let me know. I will. You let me know when you start rewatching it. I'll watch it. We could do episode for episode.
Ooh.
I would definitely do a Deadwood dedicated podcast.
I'm down for that, sir. Yeah, it's like, remember when I was doing the Game of Thrones episodes? Those were fun.
I didn't watch those because at the time I was anti Game of Thrones.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was
Game of Thrones.
I was one of those snobs who read the book and thought that he knew better than television producers.
Well, there's still time. They're still up.
They're diverging enough that they're different from the book. So
I've learned. I got to the point where it was like I need to accept that this is the same universe that I love, but a different version of it. Yeah. And I'm good with it now. I'm at peace with it now.
Yeah, well, that's technically our main topic if we ever get to
the later seasons went a little bit too far with some of the stuff they cut out. Like it seems like they're just jumping around the continent now, where like they definitely took a lot more of their time in the first couple seasons.
Yeah, it definitely went from
like Spark Notes now. At this point, it's just like we need to go here, we need to go here, we need to hit this moment, we need these characters to meet.
It felt like it started to get rushed, and it felt more. The later it got, the more influence of television I could see in it, as opposed to the books.
Yeah, no, I really like the pacing of the first couple seasons. Like it actually, like when they traveled from like King's Landing to the Wall, like it took them some time.
Yeah,
now they just teleport.
Yeah, now they just teleport, and you're like, so how much time has passed, guys? And they don't tell you, and you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah, oh, yeah, they've been there now. They've got the checkpoint lit, so they can just boop, boop, boop.
They got the bonfire lit. They can just teleport to the wall.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Which is eerily apropos to what's going on in the U.S. these days. We need one of those walls, man. Keep those Americans out. Oh man, tell you what. Alrighty, who's clicking? You hear that clicking?
Mic on and off. It's easier to mute from my chest than it is from up here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. These mics pick up the weirdest, randomest things sometimes. Like you can hear the sound of me touching the cord. Can you hear that? Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's like why? Why would we want that to be heard on the mic?
It's strangely reassuring.
Mm-hmm. Man, it's like the ocean.
It is.
I'm gonna the high seas, Kiar.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Speaking of high seas, so are you gonna try Sea of Thieves again? Because I heard they did a bunch of big updates to it.
Until they make Sea of Thieves a PvE only option, it can probably go fuck itself.
Oh, see, that's one I want to play, but I don't want to pay for Xbox Online.
I liked the game. I liked the art style. I liked the controls. I liked sailing by myself. I like sailing with one friend. I like sailing with 3 friends. I like solving the puzzles. I like digging up treasure. I like shooting the skeletons. I fucking hate being forced to play on a server with people whose only goal in life is to make me miserable.
Yeah.
I hate that.
It seems like there should be an option to have that not be a thing, but I guess literally it is the title is Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, and that was the argument I got from most people: is you're playing a game about pirates, suck it up. And I said, well, I'm not playing anything now, fucker.
Yeah.
So
Well, what's in like you guys were talking a moment ago about like end game gear? Like, is there end game gear in Sea of Thieves? Like, can they come at you with like the Black Pearl from Pirates of the Caribbean versus your little dinghy?
when I quit, everything in Sea of Thieves was just cosmetic differences.
Yeah,
and I was okay with that. And I mean,
yeah.
that was one of the complaints people had was there's not enough to keep people playing. I'm like, you know what? This is enough for me. It's pretty enough. I enjoyed it. It's almost a relaxing experience to come out here. It's fun to play with my friends and solve these puzzles. I don't mind that there's not a million different things to do. You know, I don't mind all that. But it was definitely, they wanted it to be a PvP experience because it makes it, I don't know, I guess it makes it more exciting. It makes it more intense.
Yeah, I guess. Isn't there? I just had a flash for another game that does almost exactly. Oh, it's the Brock, you know that game, the caveman game that has a pirate expansion. What's that game? Brock, you are hard to hear, dude.
I don't know what you're talking about. Still hard to hear.
No, you're good. I'm glad he assumed that you knew the caveman game and not me.
Yeah, no, it's the survival game, caveman game. People have to stream it and play it. It's a PC game. Ark.
Oh, dude, Ark's terrible.
Yeah, but Ark has a new that new expansion that they tried to make into its own game, the pirate one.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
that's not a pirate expansion. That's a standalone game that people found out was just Ark reskinned.
I know. Like, it would have been an expansion, but they tried to pass it off as its own thing, and it's...
I don't know. I don't like Ark. I feel ripped off by Ark still. Like, I bought Ark back in the day. It didn't run very well. Then they started releasing paid DLC for an early access game. And I'm
like, I don't like that at all. That goes on to our subtopic of gimmick demos, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
I literally haven't played that game since because of it. I've been so turned off of it.
Yeah. I like Subnautica.
Everyone's saying that. A lot of people have been playing Subnautica, but I wish it was multiplayer.
That'd be cool.
Like, if Subnautica was multiplayer, I'm down.
Mm-hmm. What about State of Decay 2, Sean? You try that yet?
No. You know what? I have Game Pass, so I should probably. I grabbed it for that $2 for 2 months.
Yeah.
Deal. So I guess I could give it a shot. I don't know. Like, really, it would just be tomorrow because Friday hits and it's all Anthem.
Yeah,
like, no matter what. That's why I got Captain Toad going. I'm in the middle of book 2.
Yeah, me too.
And
I'm at the start of book 2.
I can keep picking at that, but I for me to download and install something, I just messaged Musty and asked him if he wanted to try Sea of Thieves tonight.
Nice.
You got me curious, wondering if it's any better.
Yeah, but, stream it. I'll watch that.
Yeah.
I don't have it. I could borrow it from the library, but that's just a question of the online. Because I've got online on PS4, but that's mostly for Monster Hunter. No one around here seems to want to play Monster Hunter, so there it is. Alrighty, is that good for your what you've been playing, what you've been watching? I think that's pretty good. Yeah. Cool. Let's keep this train rolling. Brock, how's it going? You want to mention some WoW or anything, or?
I actually want to mention the new Sid Meier's Civilization 6 expansion.
Okay.
Gathering Storm. Added climate change to the base game, which is pretty cool. Haven't played a full game through yet, but the game feels finished now. The game actually has World Congress. It's got the features that 5 had that were glaringly missing for a very long time. So hopefully this Civilization turns out to be the best one we have so far. But with the last expansion, they added a lot of new features that weren't necessarily game changing. But this seems like it might be a lot more game changing with the way climate change works, reduces the amount of land available, and I don't know, it's a lot of fun. I was playing as Canada, so that's always fun. Like, people can't declare like surprise wars on you or anything like that, so that's always nice. They have to declare their intentions. I mean, it's perfectly fitting for Canada, I guess. And then their unique building is the fucking ice hockey rink, which is
okay.
I find just hilarious.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Not quite a bit. Obviously, WoW. I mean, what is there to really say about WoW?
Yeah, I mean, we already mentioned it. It's kind of just the ongoing thing.
I raid every week. our guild just merged with another guild, so we're kind of in the. Honestly, I'm not I'm not really big of a fan about the new merger and stuff like that, but what can you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been playing Diablo the new season, season 16 or whatever the fuck it's called.
Diablo has new stuff.
Yeah, new season every couple of months.
Really?
Every 3 to 4 or 5 months, there's a new season. Yeah, Diablo 3, the new season. It's called the Season of Grandeur. So, if you're familiar with Diablo 3 at all, there's a ring that reduces set requirements by 1. They've essentially just given that to everyone as a baseline effect for playing season, so it opens a lot more builds and stuff like that. People are pushing greater lift, like 120, 130 now, kind of stuff like that for the high end. Just a lot of fun. It's a lot of grinding, a lot of gear, you know. Little Diablo loot fest. Kills your mouse buttons. I don't really know what else there is to say about a game that's almost a decade old at this point.
Tried and true, I guess.
Is it really that old?
It's, I believe, I don't know, it's about 8 years old now, I think. It's
Holy
2011.
shit.
Yeah.
I wasn't even going to... Diablo 3 came out, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to skip it. I'm not going to buy that. I don't need that.
It's changed a lot of years. Like, with the first expansion, obviously, they fixed a lot of, like, the gearing problems, and then the later seasons have fixed the build diversity issues. So pretty much viable builds now at this point that you can have a lot of fun with it, but don't go into Diablo 3 expecting Diablo 2 because it's not. It just
and I walked into an EB Games and they had the collector's edition on the shelf behind them that somebody had canceled on their pre-order. This was like the month it came out, and I went from I'm not going to buy it to I should probably have that.
My like mantle above my fireplace is just collector's editions for either World of Warcraft or Diablo or StarCraft.
Tell me you have the skull with the Soulstone USB drive on your desk.
It's still in the box. Like,
oh, nice.
I don't really take much stuff out of the collector's edition box. I usually stay sealed pretty much. Other than me taking the game case out and like looking at maybe the art book. And that's about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't really been playing too much other than that. Started playing or downloaded a bunch of like VR games that I started playing again, but haven't really done much of that just because I haven't really had the energy to play VR, to be honest.
It seems like a lot of work. I can't get into VR.
VR is really cool. It's just I'm not obviously the most in shape person in the world. Like I'll play Beat Saber for like half hour to 45 minutes, and I'll get my heart going, and I'm just like I don't want to move anymore. But
people seem to love that game.
High intensity sort of game, especially when you're playing on expert. It's like really pretty. It's like a workout. So that's what I look at it as. To be honest, it's a workout machine.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't have anything else, man. That's all I've been playing.
That's all right. That's all right.
It's just, I mean, the Orville, Star Trek Discovery, the X-Files. Starting to go through that finally because my one friend has been like, "You should watch the X-Files." I'm like, I've seen a lot of the X-Files, but I've never seen the whole series, so I've been doing that. And mainly just waiting on Game of Thrones and waiting on other series to kind of come back and just end, right?
Yeah. Speaking of series that should end, are you watching The Walking Dead?
I haven't watched The Walking Dead since season 4 or 5 when they like killed one of the main characters. They spoiled it on their main Facebook account.
Yeah, time zones.
5 minutes? No, like literally 5 minutes after it aired. And I just haven't watched it since because I'm like, you guys keep spoiling shit on your Facebook. I'm not watching your show anymore. And I'm watching it in 4 seasons.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like Game of Thrones, but I think the deaths in Game of Thrones are a bit more important.
But nothing has happened.
The story.
It feels like nothing has really progressed in Walking Dead. Like they're still
that's true.
And they're still doing all this other shit. It's boring.
Usually, it's the bad guys that you're supposed to really care about because they're the interesting ones. That's what I find.
I'm more interested in the world and like the actual zombie plague itself, but I don't feel like we'll ever get an answer to that.
No.
Yeah, it just is what it is. I don't think there's much more they're going to do with it. This season, it looked like they were going to have talking zombies. Like, no, don't do that. That's so dumb. Maybe and it wasn't actually, they weren't actually zombies. So it's just a disguise. Spoiler, not really.
Oh, are those the Wanderers or what the hell they're called?
Yeah. They're just like camouflaging themselves with zombies, I guess.
I mean, kind of that's already been done a little bit before when people rub zombie guts and shit all over them.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So, yeah, I mean, without really going into Star Trek, like, because like that's one of our main topics, right? At the end.
Yeah, that's pretty much at the end of the show.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk too much about Star Trek Discovery, although I
Yeah.
started turning around on it. Season 2,
Yeah, you have.
significantly better than season 1. Season 1, I almost stopped. I almost was like, I'm not watching this ever again.
Okay, hold it for later because we'll talk about season 1.
I have a lot to say about season 1, and it seems like they're doing a lot of corrections to get the lore and everything and the stuff that doesn't make sense back into line with canon, because the spore drive itself is fucking stupid. But
no, it's fun. It's fun, Brock. Have fun with sci-fi.
Thinking that completely invalidates warp engines is fun.
Yeah, we don't need it. We got the spores now. We can go.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm gonna just start ranting. Let's not.
I'm looking forward to it. All right, I've been playing Far Cry games. I played Far Cry 4 and I beat it. That's the one where you're a guy who's in the Himalayan mountains, more or less. It's kind of kind of Himalayas, and I enjoyed it. It's just one of those games in the backlog, and it's a good time. He's
the one with elephants.
Yeah. Yeah, he goes there because his mother died and she wanted her ashes spread across the land of her home. And your main character guy, who somehow this is always a thing in Far Cry games, your character just always knows how to use all guns and knows how to do all this like secret agent stuff, which is kind of weird. But yeah, he's just on a bus en route to this town, and there's this huge kind of like a gang war almost. Like there's this drug king guy, and he's kind of running things, and his people are very insecure, so they pull over your bus and they basically kidnap everyone on the bus, including yourself. And then he finds out who you are, and he's kind of related to you, kind of not. I won't get too into it, but he's like, yeah, just sit here for a while, and we'll do those ashes, and I'll be right back. And then the whole game, apparently, if you don't move, the game can end because he'll come back. And I tried that, but it didn't work. So I don't know.
15 minutes, you gotta wait at that table.
It was a while.
Yeah, he'll come back and game's credits will roll. He will let you spread the ashes, and you essentially end the game right there.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a pretty funny idea.
Mm-hmm.
I like alternate endings like that.
Yeah, but it didn't work for me. But yeah, you basically leave the place, and then it was like, oh, he's trying to get away. Shoot him. He must be working for the Golden Path. And it's like, oh no! And then you run, and then there's animals, and there's people, and it's all that sneaking with like a neat like I said, Himalayan, lots of mountains. Obviously there's hang gliders, and there's towers you climb, not unlike Breath of the Wild. I actually got a lot of Breath of the Wild vibes out of this. And find different guns, talk to different people. There's kind of a choose your own adventure between two good guys. There's like a guy and a girl, and they each have different ideas of how they can save their country. One wants to basically sell drugs, one wants to go back to the old traditions, and kind of learn along the way that neither one is really a great option. And at the end of the game, like I never really felt enough about any characters. Like I liked Pagan Min as a character, and there's a scene where you can choose to shoot him or not, and I'm like, I don't care. I enjoyed your scenes. keep doing you. And I let him get away in the helicopter, and then the game ended. I was like, that's fun. Good times. I want to try it online, but no one wants to play. Sad. Can't get any co-op bros. I think Kyle actually plays it. At least he did play it online, but oh well. And then
I just came out a couple days ago.
I know, we're getting to that. And then I went back to Far Cry Primal, which I started ages ago and then just stopped for something else. And apparently it uses the same map that Far Cry 4 does, but I didn't really notice any similarities. It's more like going back in time, I guess, literally. And that was neat too, because like Sean and his dogs, there's just a lot of animals running around. There's wolves everywhere and saber-tooth tigers and all that stuff. And you can pretty much tame any one of them, and then they can run around with you and help you, and you can pet them, which is great. Like that's all you really need in any game, right?
Tame saber-tooth tiger that you can pet.
Exactly. And that's good time. Lots of bow and arrows. I think the bow and arrow was really popular when Far Cry 4 came out. Because I remember with that or like Tomb Raider, just lots of games had bows and arrows, and this was definitely one.
Was satisfying.
Mm-hmm. Didn't Last of Us have bow and arrow? It did, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm sure this.
Last of Us.
It's good. It was way overhyped at the start, and that kind of bugged people, I think, including myself. But I played it again on PS4, and it's a good story. Looking forward to the sequel, though. Those previews, they haven't been showing a whole lot.
That game is coming to PS5. I can fucking guarantee it. It's
Maybe.
delayed. There's no release date. There hasn't been anything revealed about that game. It looks too good for a PS4. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a current gen game to me anymore.
Maybe. They're not showing a whole lot in those trailers, though. There's no. I don't think they've even shown any of the zombies yet. We got that Days Gone coming out too. That looks cool. Kind of looks like State of Decay, honestly.
Days Gone's a couple years too late.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's kind of gone at this point. Like if it came out around the same time as Dead Island or what was the not Dead Island? The developer left Dead Island and made another one.
Which has a sequel now.
No.
I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, the parkour one.
That one was a little bit better.
Yeah.
Less buggy.
Yeah, I kind of like Dead Island. I like the setting, nothing else.
I liked the theme song, and that's about it.
Yeah, those trailers were hype.
Oh yeah,
good trailers. Games were so. That too, though, I think would have been online co-op. See all these cool online co-op games. No one ever wants to play. Sad. But yeah, Far Cry Primal, also a good game. It's kind of a bummer that it didn't really catch on like the other ones do. But I liked it. And next up, I'm gonna just mention real quick. I saw the movie Christopher Robin not too long ago. I just thought that'd be fun to shout out.
Yeah, what's that? Is that about Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah. If you remember Hook, it's just like that, except with Winnie the Pooh instead of Peter Pan.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's basically Christopher Robin grew up, and now he's an angry, busy adult man, and he doesn't have time for his kids or his wife. Sad. But then Winnie the Pooh comes and helps him remember the good old days, and
nice.
It's got the feels. You know, there's a couple scenes where it's like, oh no, he got me. No, he said that Christopher Robin was his hero. I'm like, no, my heart. Touching. Super predictable. If you know what the story is about, which is you do now because I just said it, but you pretty much know exactly how it's going to go. Disney movie, you know. But yeah, good flick. I dug it. And finally, my last mention is just last night, actually, myself and Monster Hunter friend Born were playing Apex, the new free-to-play Battle Royale EA game built off of Titanfall technology, I believe. And yeah, it's cool. I don't know who these characters are. They all have special powers, kind of like in Overwatch. And they're all running around shooting each other, and then you die, and then you come back and do it all again. There's only one map. It's a pretty big map. You find guns. I don't know what the guns are, but it really could use a training mode, but it doesn't have that. But kind of like just playing the game is the training mode, and you just learn over time what you're doing. Like you can only carry 2 guns. You get to throw bombs. You got special moves. I like this robot guy, but his supers kind of suck. He just shoots grappling hooks all over the place. But yeah. For a free-to-play game, it's cool to finally have something in the Battle Royale genre to play, because I haven't really tried any of the other ones. I know Call of Duty did a really good job on their Battle Royale, and the original ones, like PUBG, they kind of seem super ghetto in comparison.
Oh, PUBG is a fucking technical mess.
Yeah, which is surprising. You think by now, like, surely they must have made enough money to hire some more people who know what they're doing, but I don't know.
Element to like China or some of the smaller studios over there.
Yeah, I even have Fortnite installed. I haven't tried it yet, but yeah, Apex, cool game. If
Fortnite
you
Fortnite is around for the 12-year-olds.
It's true. It kind of replaced Minecraft with the kids.
Keeps them away from my games. I'm happy.
There you go. But I mean, hey, free to play. That's cool. It's on the Switch. Apex isn't on the Switch. Not yet. Fortnite is. Yeah, Apex, cool game. I dig it. Alrighty, so let's move on. Anyone need to use the washroom or anything? We don't have much more for this episode. We just want to mention demos real quick. We can go through Nintendo Direct and maybe some Star Trek, and that'll be that.
No, I'm good.
That's all right. Sounds good. So just a thought I've been wondering. So what's going on with these gimmick demos? Like, why can't we just have a nice, easy to play demo? Like, I installed the Yoshi. I don't even know what it's called. Yoshi's Crafted World demo. And it's like, you know what? That was a very quick install. I played the first level. I enjoyed it. Now that's a demo. So why can't current gen?
Oh, are you talking about like the time demo for Resident Evil and stuff?
I'm talking about all those demos. The Resident Evil 2 one-shot demo, where you can only play the demo one time before it just stops being usable, and then you have to
create a new PS account and re-download it.
Exactly. That's all people had to do. All they did was just make a ton of dummy accounts for their PSN. And I'm sure Sony didn't like that because now they just have all these extra names being used up for no good reason, just for so people can play a demo again. It's like, why would you do this? Remember back when Nintendo did time demos or limited use demos? There'd be like 22 uses of this demo left for your 3DS. Like, they don't do that anymore, thank God. But it's like, why? You guys mentioned Anthem. Like, you remember that huge graph they showed you of trying the game?
With like, years, though, let's be real. Didn't just start with Anthem. That started with like Battlefield and other stuff like that. They've had those pre-release windows where you pre-purchase, or you get it from here, you get it from Origin Access, and you get so many days free, and
it's so dumb. So dumb. Why would you do this? Even God Eater 3, which came out recently on the PS4, it has like a weekend demo. I didn't know. You guys gotta advertise these stupid demos, especially if they're timed.
Or weekend and then just off.
Yeah, it's like maybe I'm working that weekend. You don't know. It's like it's dumb. It's just dumb. That's this whole segment. So what the hell, guys? And then the demos for some of these current gen things, they're like the whole game. It's like a 40 gig download for a weekend demo. It's like, what? What?
So, I mean, sometimes a lot of those games that you download that are demos, that you download the unlock code and it just unlocks the full game.
Yeah, like that's the trick right there. It's just a scheme. Oh, then well, you got it right here. You might as well just give us money, and then you'll have it all ready to go.
Yeah, I think every game should come with a demo.
That'd be cool.
Like you should be able to demo everything before you buy it. I could test drive a car before I buy it.
That's
you know
true.
What I mean?
The Steam game.
Steam, yeah.
And you got 2 hours to demo any game you want, and then if you don't like it, return it.
Yeah,
that's
so
true.
I don't even need a demo a lot of the times. I'll just like, if I don't like this, if it feels broken, just return.
Yeah, I'm just tired of all these dumb gimmicks being put around things.
Getting stuff getting moved from the Steam store and put on Epic.
Oh, that's a good one too. Like Metro. Yeah. It's like, why? Well, that's more just money. That's just big money.
Apparently, that's Deep Silver's fault, not the actual developer.
Yeah, that was a messy situation. Then they get on Twitter and they start harassing folks back, and then there's no winners there. I don't know. Has the game even done well? I've heard mixed reviews.
It's good if you like the Metro games. It's essentially like a Half-Life 2 like experience, like that sort of shooter. It's a single player shooter where you just kind of go from one end to the level to the other. It's a little bit more open than the previous games, but
yeah, those are definitely on my backlog. Metro games,
right? Like you're in the Metro tunnels, and like you're like you go to the surface at some point, but yeah.
Well, anyways, I know these companies are so ridiculously money hungry, like with Activision laying off a bunch of people after claiming record profits. Like there's big grease sliding around this industry, but I don't know. It's just like some of these ideas they come up with just are bad, and just you're not going to accomplish what you want, which is money.
Like Mobile Diablo.
What did they do?
Oh, they're making Diablo a mobile game.
Oh god.
Yeah.
You guys have some fans, right?
Yeah. That's a good one.
Did anyone want a Diablo style game on their phone? That's not what Diablo fans want.
No. That's not what mobile. It's not what mobile game. It's not what people who play mobile games want, and it's not what Diablo fans want. So I'm not sure who wants it.
Yeah, they don't know, man. It's just some companies. It just sucks.
Either Hearthstone, I can finish a game in a couple minutes, or like Marvel Puzzle Quest or something stupid.
Yeah. I don't get why Super Mario Run needs to be online for me to play it. That's a dumb one too.
I forgot even that was even a thing.
Yeah, I was playing it the other day.
I did like that. I did enjoy that.
It's cute, but if I want to use it without using up data, like if you don't have Wi-Fi, it's dumb.
I do. It does frustrate me with mobile games that like it's a full game that I download and I still have to be fucking connected.
Like if we're talking about like the Pokemon or whatever, that makes sense because obviously you have to be online.
Yep.
But
I mean, I don't think it uses data for the actual game itself.
I don't know. Well, either way, it requires it, which is dumb. Like you want to play the game, but your data's off. Nope, can't play it. You're just gonna error message, and that's it. That's your game. Dumb. And that's my segment. Why is it so dumb? Okay. Moving on.
Money.
Say again?
It's because of money.
I know. It's just the wrong ways to make money. I guess they got to try it, though. Got to see what happens.
Well, hey, if loot boxes are getting banned across the world, where else are we going to monetize?
Yeah, right there. Some countries are wising up, but a lot of them aren't. Speaking of Anthem, or Apex rather, it's fun because it's free to play. Like I installed it and off I went, and we had fun. But everything in the game is locked. Like there's so much locked stuff. Like your little character icon that you see when you start a match, like the borders can be unlocked. The animation he moves around in can be unlocked. Quotes they say are unlocked. Weapons skins are unlocked. Character skins are unlocked. Like all these things are locked.
That's just the nature of free to play.
Yeah, which is fine. Like honestly, like it's. I hope they add more to it. Like some of the characters even locked. But
already stuff. There's a new patch coming up pretty soon. It's adding a bunch of new weapons. Like, I haven't even played it yet, but it looks pretty interesting for a battle royale game.
Yeah, it's fun. I'll stream it if I have any reason to believe people will show up. That's the real trick. But it's another topic. Yeah, new game. All right, let's move on to the Nintendo Watch. Hey, it's that time of the show when we take a look at that most wacky and mysterious of companies, Nintendo. And we say, hey, what are they up to this time?
Serious, this generation, they've been pretty pretty calculated after the Wii U. It looks like. Like
yes,
like everything's coming to the Wii U. Everything's being ported. Everything's getting sequels. Everything's they finally hit one out of the park. Like they deserve the success they're getting right now. Except for maybe the Switch tax on everything.
Of course.
That's like every video game nowadays. It's $80 or bust.
Yeah. Yeah, what else is dumb is when a game is on Kickstarter and it's like the highest tier of donations is port to Switch. It's like, fuck you. Of course you're going to port it to Switch. It's like it's the most hyped console. So at times, not all the time, but often.
I would think the most interesting console currently. The other ones just seem like underpowered PCs.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, that's what they are.
Yeah. The disc is kind of just for show for the most part.
I mean, the disc doesn't really contain most of the game nowadays with all these day one patches and games as a service. Like the days of physical media, as much as it is great for the initial install, if the game has any sort of future, it's most likely getting patched every couple months and the disc is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like as much as that hurts to say, like I've been a physical media guy for a long time, but Steam kind of converted me over.
Yeah, definitely.
Full digital.
Well, they really were the forefront at that sort of
and that's why it's
that evolution.
Epic and Uplay and Origin stuff pisses me off because I'm like, I want all my games in one location.
I know. I get it. I understand. It's exactly like I think I said on Twitter, but PCs are becoming more console-y. That everyone wants to be their own Steam. Like if Steam wasn't a company, like it's still Valve. It's still those Half-Life guys.
I think Steam is though the reason it's so successful is because there's such a large user base for it. If you're trying to make a bigger portion of your money on Epic, you don't nearly have that sort of user base, like install base, except for the Fortnite people, because that's the only why Epic launcher is installed.
Yeah, that's why it exists now because Fortnite is just so damn popular.
It's not ready for a storefront. Like they don't have a refund system without you actually emailing support. They don't have ratings unless they're enabled by the developer. So to prevent review bombing, like there's so many features that are missing. Like a working friends list, I would say, would probably be the only thing.
Nice. I haven't even tried them. I don't know if I put a password thing into Apex. It was very easy, and then off I went. I don't know if that means I'm in Origin now. I don't know. But yeah, that's another thing, too. I don't want to have to keep signing up for all these different things.
Yeah, like when I have to sign in to Uplay and Steam at the same time to play like a Steam game, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you can't family share Uplay games because if you're not logged into the person's Uplay account, you don't get access to their games.
When I was playing the Far Cry games, they had like extra weapons and things you can have if you sign in for Uplay. Like, it's fine. I'm good. I got lots of weapons. I got traps and bows and arrows and slings and clubs and spears. I'm good to go. I got a cave bear over here helping me out. Good times.
Yeah, what else do you need, man, when you have a cave bear?
I know. You can call it out. Then he just looks around and scouts the place for you. You can sick him on random cave people. Good time. I like that game.
Cave murder.
It's not murder back then, man. It's just life. Makes you think. All right. Hey, Nintendo Direct. Let's talk about some games real quick. So I got a list. I'm just on the Nintendo.com Nintendo Direct, and we can just go through the games. And if anyone has something to say it. If not, we'll just keep it rolling. Sound good?
Yeah.
Let's start. Good.
All right. So the first one we got here is Dragon Quest 11 coming to Switch. Cool.
Pumped.
I want that. I don't know if
I want 16-bit Dragon Quest 11.
It's there. You can have that, my brother. I don't know if I have enough time in the world left for RPGs, but I do want this.
Steven, you are free right now. Free Steven. You have all kinds of time.
Hashtag free Steven. I got those backlog games, man. We'll get to it. But I got Nier.
RPGs being my favorite like genre because they take so fucking long to beat.
I know, especially Dragon Quest games.
Yeah.
These games take forever.
I don't think I've ever beaten a single Dragon Quest game.
It takes a minute. Gotta just set the 80 hours aside, 100 hours aside. Plus, I don't know. This one's probably the biggest one yet, though. I think it looks cool from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest are usually pretty fun.
Yeah, I think I tried a demo on PS4. I can't recall honestly at this point, but yeah. Okay, that'll be a good one. I recommend that. Fire Emblem. Who likes Fire Emblem?
Woo!
I know Darren likes Fire Emblem, but he's not here.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I've never cared for Fire Emblem. I just it's not my kind of RPG.
Yeah, that's on apps too on the smartphone. Hit us with some Fire Emblem thoughts, John.
I'm pumped. I'm looking forward to it. I need to know if I can romance my students.
Oh, I'm sure you can.
That's definitely like the disconnect comes for me. Like it is a war game, but it's also like a weird shipping simulator. And I don't
relationship.
Relationship. You never heard the word shipping?
No.
Oh,
Steve was not up to date with the new fandangled
term.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm hip. I'm cool.
With it.
I'm kids.
Yeah, it's more Fire Emblem. The big collector's edition. You're gonna get that big collector's edition?
No, man. I'm actually I'm kind of on the same boat as Brock here. I have made the shift to digital. I will get that physical because it's a Nintendo game. So my basic rule for Switch is if it's Nintendo first party, I'll buy the actual cartridge. And if it's less than 5 gigabytes, I will just get a digital copy. Like I'm getting the digital version of Anthem from my Xbox One just because it's so much more convenient to be able to just pop that on, than to have to go through the hassle of finding a disc like a sucker.
Yeah, no kidding. Just more stuff to take up space.
Yeah, like I'm all about that convenience now, and I don't have as much space as I used to have, so I'm really trying to limit what I buy physical versions of. So
again, it definitely made a lot more sense for physical versions back when the whole game was on the disc.
Yeah, but now it's just like having a CD key. Like,
yeah.
Oh, and when you buy PC games, like in a box, all you get is a cardboard circle with a Steam key on it, and you're like, oh, cool.
Yeah, fuck me. Why? I took a bus in the snow to EB Games to get a piece of cardboard.
Well, Back in the day, you used to get tons of stuff in those PC game boxes.
Not anymore.
Yeah,
Not
all
anymore.
sorts of books and manuals and scriptures and.
Last physical PC game I actually bought was Fallout 76.
Oof.
Wow.
But I got the power armor. I mean, it was expensive as fuck, but that helmet looks pretty cool on display.
Did you get the one that came with the bag, the canvas bag that ended up being vinyl?
The bag is really disappointing. The actual
So yes,
the helmet itself is actually really cool.
that's worth it.
It's a cool prop. You can actually put it on your head, and it looks.
Yeah,
that's cool, man.
Honestly, something you're gonna wear every day, but sit in the corner and just kind of stare at you. Like, yeah, I like Fallout, and you're like, but it kind of every time I look over, it reminds me that now that Fallout is dead.
Oh, yeah.
It's like really disappointing, but at least we have Outer Worlds coming out, so
Yeah. Yeah, that's the most magnificent disaster I think in gaming history. Like I can't think of anything that's been such a constant headache than Fallout 76.
I can't believe they're so incompetent when it comes to like using like GitHub or something for like their code management, because they've re-merged a bunch of bugs into the game that
I heard about that.
And it's just like, oh my god, like are you that incompetent at this point that you just don't know how to manage like branches of files like code?
Someone's got to know what's going on. I'm looking forward to the documentary coming out in 10 years or whatever. It's like Fallout 76. What really happened?
What went wrong? Oh, fuck. We just kind of bolted multiplayer into Fallout 4 and we expected it to work properly.
Like maybe it was meant for this Christmas and not last Christmas, and they just needed something. It's like, yeah, sure. People are willing to buy stuff day one no matter how broken it is. So let's do that.
Stuff in Fallout 4 that can never be fixed because it's an engine issue, and unless they replace the engine, it's never going to work properly.
Ugh. Well, anyways,
the game is it's a Gamebryo engine from Morrowind, so it's there you go. There's our issue.
There you go. Just tidy it up like the source engine. Super Mario Maker 2. Anyone?
I'm looking for that. I mean, it's Mario Maker. Like, I wasn't a big fan of the first Mario Maker, but I get it. I understand why it exists.
Yeah, it's cool. I had the first one. I barely played it. It's over there.
The reason I didn't play it is because it was on the Wii U.
Wow. Yeah. Well, you got the gamepad comes in handy for the stylus to move stuff around. But
oh, totally. But I mean, the Switch has got a touchscreen, right? So.
Proc, it sounds like you're in an electrical storm.
Does it?
Yeah.
Is it like really bad still?
Yes.
I just assumed you'd gotten into your Mac and you were now transmitting from there.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it's so crackly and shit now.
Okay, it just got better and louder. So.
Oh, well.
So that's good. That's
Windows
good.
decided it was just gonna work.
Yeah. Yeah, we went over this before we started, but it's always an adventure with Google and Windows and stuff. Anyway, let's keep this thing rolling. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Anyone have?
Woo!
I can't do it, man. Like I'm excited for that.
Yeah, me too. I loved X-Men Legends. I loved X-Men Legends 2. I haven't played either of the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games, but
so
if they're as good as Legends, is it Ravenloft Studios or Raven Software made X-Men Legends? Ravenloft is a world in Dungeons and Dragons, so it's probably not that.
But no, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, what kind of Marvel game is this? And then they're like, Ultimate Alliance 3. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah,
it looked like an
exclusive to Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Raven Software did the first two X-Men Legends. Big fan.
Yeah. Solid beat 'em up.
Does that have online co-op? I think it does.
I assume, yeah. It doesn't make sense that it wouldn't.
Yeah, because that'd be cool. I might be down for that. But if the price is right. I need reviews. Box Boy. I liked Box Boy in the 3DS. It's cute.
I need the Box Boy amiibo still from Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping.
Got pretty darn expensive, at least according to Amazon.
Yeah, he went up to like a couple of $100.
Mm-hmm. QB.
Yeah.
Apparently Doc NES has one.
Oh, really?
But he doesn't have the gold Splatoon ones.
There's no gold Splatoon ones. Those ones from that, like, it was like there was like 6 of them made for that Splatoon tournament they had.
That means you can't have them all until you got one of those. I'm sorry. That's just how it goes. That's your stadium events for Amiibo.
Yeah.
Just how it is. It's just how it be. Smash Brothers. Okay, Captain Toad has an update. You going to buy the Captain Toad update?
We'll see. I'm getting to the point where DLC in games that I like, if I play a game and beat it and enjoy it, I don't know that I necessarily need DLC for it.
Yeah, that's how I felt with the Far Cry 4 DLC with the Yetis. It looks cool, but
like I used to.
Sure.
Yeah.
Craving gameplay, but I mean, if you're done and it's after the end of the experience, then pass on the
Yeah.
DLC.
Like I used to wait for complete editions, like Horizon Zero Dawn. I waited for the complete edition to come out when I bought it, and I hated that game. So I could have bought the regular edition for $15 and been just as unhappy with that as I was with my $60 complete edition.
Nice.
So yeah, I think my position on DLC is sort of shifting away from I have to have it. Unless it's a game like you said there, Brock. Unless it's a game that is like, you know what, I am still very much involved in this experience. I'm still engaged here. But I think for Captain Toad, I'll probably get to the end because I've been going through and getting all the diamonds and all of the checkbox items, and then finding the pixel toad for each level. I think by the time I finish what's on the disc or on the cart, I'll probably have had enough.
Agreed.
Yeah, I feel like they're looking at DLC in a lot of a different light now than they used to. Like back when DLC was what I remember, I remember expansion packs.
Yeah.
Expansion packs. I wish that was still a thing for games. Like when there was like you bought an expansion pack and you got a good full experience. Like the last expansion pack that I played was decent was The Witcher. Like The Witcher DLCs were comparable to the main game in terms of quality. Some of the writing was actually better. Yeah, I don't know. They definitely are. They're smaller, more piecemeal kind of things where they're trying to push out a season's pass instead of just making one single experience that kind of expands upon the base game.
Yeah,
I kind of don't like personally. Like I like the Fallout DLC for the reasons, like the story reasons and stuff like that. I feel like that's the last DLC that I truly enjoyed.
I like that this Captain Toad content is beyond what was in the Wii U game. That it's adding new stuff.
So they didn't add it to like the base game Treasure Tracker to the new Switch version, or is it like is the base Treasure Tracker on the Switch different than the one on the Wii U?
I think it's the same. Yeah,
it's the same, but it has Super Mario Odyssey levels on the Switch one.
Okay, because I noticed a couple games they've ported from Wii U. They've added a couple extra like modes.
Yeah,
they're like, oh, we got Funky Kong for the Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
that'll be the only way I can beat that game. By the way, Funky Kong.
Easy mode or something. He can like fly or something. Or
he can't take damage. He can fly. It basically makes Donkey Kong a Yoshi game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Super Mario Bros. U as well. They added Peachette or whatever the hell it is, and it's like easy mode.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Bowser out of it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Internet. The 2-player co-op mode, I'm guessing that's only local.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Mark and I were playing it actually the other day. It's okay. You both control the camera though, so you get into some camera battles. But
there's a game like that on the Switch. Actually, it involves these little cube-shaped robots, and the idea is to not kill each other constantly when you're beating the levels. I thought it'd be a good game for the Q Dogs to play on stream sometime. Okay, we got some Bloodstained. That's a buy right there.
I actually thought it looked kind of like crap.
Really?
Yeah, I was not impressed with how it looked in the video. I backed it on Kickstarter, so I'm gonna get it anyway. I don't have a choice, but I'm hoping it looks a little cleaner.
Is that the not Castlevania game?
Yeah. It looked an awful lot like Symphony of the Night.
Yeah. I don't really know what I think of that. I'm not a big fan of Symphony of the Night to begin with, so it's probably not my sort of game.
Apparently the disc sells for a lot though, so there you go. If I need $150 or something. Yeah, that's probably gonna be a day one for me. Speaking of day ones, Dragon Quest Builders 2. That's confirmed. It's also on PS4. Some of these are on PS4. The Chocobo Mystery Dungeon game is on PS4, and it's kind of funny that you see them on Nintendo Direct and think, oh, they're coming to Nintendo, but you don't remember that there's other consoles that these things might come to as well. I'm sure Bloodstained has also come to everything.
Yeah, I think it is. I think is it already out or
Bloodstained?
Yeah.
The 2D retro one is out, but not this 3D.
Yeah, Curse of the Moon is out. Curse of the Moon was great.
Yeah.
And I'm sure this will be fine. It looked like an early PS3 game to me. So
Really, it's a rough time.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's still a side scroller. It doesn't have to be too mind blowing. But we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see once it's out. Yeah, Dragon Quest Builders 2. I love the first one. I've been tempted to rebuy it again on the Switch, but this Builders 2, that's a day one right there. This one has online co-op, which is awesome. So I highly recommend that everyone consider picking up Dragon Quest Builders 2.
Hashtag play with Steven.
Say again?
Just a Minecraft clone, or I've never really played Builders. Like I don't. Minecraft
Kind
like,
of. It helps if you like Dragon Quest, but you could say it's inspired by Minecraft. Have you played Portal Knights? It's kind of like Portal Knights.
No, I've never played Portal Knights.
Okay, don't bother with Portal Knights. Play Dragon Quest Builders instead.
So you're comparing the game, and you're like, yeah, don't play that one. It's bad.
Yeah, well, it was a PS Plus game. Portal Knights was, and I tried it. It was cute, but I'm like, this just makes me want to play Dragon Quest Builders, which is better.
That's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, good hype for that. Some those stupid collectible things that are like Disney.
Kingdom Hearts Switch.
There you go. I don't get why those are so popular. What are they? Look like beanbags.
I don't know, man.
Faces. I don't know. It's not for us. But hey, mini games. I guess that's cool. They claim there's some sort of Starlink spring update. Starlink.
Yeah, that's a game I'm pumped about.
Yeah, they're bringing all the rest of the Star Fox characters and Star Fox levels.
Yeah,
it got super loud.
Oh, did I get super loud?
Yeah.
Yeah, your computer is fucked.
I swear to God, it's only Google Hangouts. I don't have this problem when I'm using Discord or any other chat service.
Yeah, it's okay.
Like, I swear that the browser is changing my actual system volume from a mic.
It probably is. But yeah, like I have Starlink on Switch already. It's cool. I kind of lost it
yet.
It's all right. But I'm not sure what this really adds because there already was this content in the Switch
more.
game. So yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so there was Lilat system based missions on the Switch version, but this is more systems in the Lilat, more missions in the Lilat system, and it's specifically with Falco. What are they fucking Falco, Peppy, and Slippy?
Yeah,
Slappy.
Yeah.
Slappy.
Good old Slappy.
That's the one.
Yeah, Slappy.
Yeah, I think there's a ghost on my computer. I can actually see my microphone volume like moving.
Oh god,
that's crazy.
That's really weird.
There's an option somewhere in sounds. There's something that it's like, would you like us to automatically adjust your thing for you? And you want to uncheck that if you can find it.
I don't see that option whatsoever, so I'm not even going to bother.
Yeah, they like to bury things, unfortunately, because they know people don't want them. Like my desktop icons move around. And it's like things I removed ages ago come back, and I told it not to do that, and it does it anyways. Sometimes it'll just reset the computer because there's an update, and I told it not to do that on its own, and it does it anyways. Yeah, might be cool. Starlink stuff is cheaper now, which is good. But I did lose interest in the game pretty hard, so we'll see. Rune Factory 4 might be cool. Maybe, probably not. Maybe.
If you like Rune Factory, it's essentially just Harvest Moon with dungeons.
It's true.
But I mean, at this point, just go play Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
Or if you're looking for a 3D alternative, what is it called?
Oh hey,
My Life at Portia, or Portia, or whatever the hell it's called. It's on PC. It's like a 3D Stardew Valley.
It's a car salesman simulator.
Yeah. I would love that. Just like a slimy used car salesman simulator.
Okay. Shout out to Duke Retro Nonsense now in the chat. Yeah, this has been a long episode. We're getting there. Yeah, it might be cool. Oni Naki, that seems like something you might like, P1.
Sorry, I had to go answer my phone. What was that?
Oninaki, is that something that might interest you?
Oh, no. I really enjoyed I Am Setsuna, but I really didn't enjoy Lost Sphere. So,
What about Octopath?
oh man, Octopath, just put that right in my veins.
Yeah,
That was my drug.
I kind of feel like this is working off of those games.
Yeah, I picked up Octopath, but I haven't got to play it yet. It's in the stack.
When I was gone, that was my game that I played while I was gone. It came out like 3 days before I left, and I put over 110 hours in, and I didn't use a guide, and I went and I found all of the hidden secrets, and I just did it like an old school, the way I would have had to do it if I was a kid, and it was a magical experience. I mean, part of it was I had to do that because they block all gaming websites on the ship because that's not as cool as hockey, I guess. But that's another rant we're not going to get onto. But it was so good. Such a gorgeous game. So much fun to play. You're really going to have a good time with that, Brock.
Yeah, no, I love that style of RPG and just the art style. Like it looks like a love letter to the old Final Fantasies, and that's kind of what I want.
Yeah.
It sold out for a while too. It was hard to find.
Yeah, it was. It was very hard to find for a little bit.
But yeah, might be cool. Oninaki, another Japanese JRPG. Yoshi's Crafted World. I like the demo. I feel like the game is probably gonna be too much. If they're gonna try full price at like $80, but oof.
Of course they will.
Yeah, probably.
It's a Nintendo first-party titles, so unless it's a port from a previous system, it's full price. Even if it's a port, it'll be full price.
I think Kirby was a bit cheaper, and they've done a ton with Kirby Star Allies.
Do a little bit. Like Kirby is definitely is aimed at a younger audience. It's definitely easier than your typical game. Like I think it's probably easier than Yoshi. I would probably say, right?
Maybe. So I think they do have some tougher levels. I know they added some extra tough levels to it.
Yeah, I like the Yoshi games and the Kirby games because, I mean, as you probably figured out from my my Donkey Kong Country statement, I'm not super good at platformers, so I like that they're a little more, take your time, relax, figure it out. It's like platforming light.
Yeah, well, I like that Nintendo games. They are made to like not be like sped run. Like I don't know if you noticed, but Captain Toad has an animation for pretty much any situation.
Yeah.
If you just have him standing, so like if he's on the train, he'll be like looking out the window waving, or if he's in the ghost house, he's scared and all these things. It's like they're games you're not really meant to just like fly through. You're kind of meant to, just breathe in. And I think that's where games like these, like Yoshi or Kirby, really shine. Like each Yoshi stage, I believe you can replay, but now the whole level's been flipped around, which is what I saw in the demo. And that's pretty neat.
Is it similar to the old style Yoshi games with like you got like the eggs and you throw it?
Yeah, he's been throwing eggs for a while now, like with the Yarn Yoshi. Same idea.
Okay, yeah, I never played the Epic Yarn. Epic Yarn.
That
was the Kirby game.
Yoshi's Woolly World. Yeah, cute game.
That yarn and wool obsession for a bit.
Look, it's right here. It's my Yoshi's Woolly World Yarn Poochie.
Oh, Steven, I know you're looking to make some money.
I'm always looking to make money.
That is one of 3 North American releases that I need. So if you get to the point that you
pretty
decide,
adorable. Look at it.
Yeah, if you get to the point that you decide to sell Poochie, just message me directly. I will buy him.
I think that came with the 3DS game, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at sea when it came out. When I got home, I missed out.
What other ones are you looking for?
Kix from Animal Crossing.
The
fox
boy?
No, I think he's a fox, isn't he, with a little hat?
Yeah.
He might be a skunk. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Summer Isabel, she's not North America though. And the Loot Goblin and Solera Vestora.
Oh, you should have told me. I've seen pretty much all of those. I think I can find you the Kix one at least.
If you can, let me know. I was looking at Amazon Japan the other day because there's a few from Japan that I have to get. The rest of that Monster Hunter trilogy and QB.
Yeah. Good luck. Don't forget the gold Splatoon, amiibo.
Yeah.
All right, let's fly through these things. Okay, so there's the thing from Undertale. There's a dog, pixel dog.
Deltarune.
Yeah, it's Deltarune.
Is that something people are excited about? I never played.
He said it won't be done for like several years. The first episode came out on PC a little while ago as like a tech demo kind of it, but it's not. It's more like
That's
a
kind of
successor to Undertale.
yeah. For me, Undertale kind of falls under that sort of Fortnite area of this is this generation's such and such.
Yeah,
Like I've heard people describe it as it's their Earthbound.
Yeah,
like
I see that
Undertale.
comparison like quite hard. Like,
I suppose you could say Fortnite is this generation's Doom. Maybe.
yeah.
So,
this generation's Minecraft.
but that is this generation. They're just a bit older now.
You forget how long ago Minecraft released, man.
It's this generation's Club Penguin.
Oh.
All right, moving on.
Deep cut.
Damon X Machina. I played the demo. It was okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of colors, a lot of fun. That'll be something I pick up when it's on sale, 75% off.
Yeah. I like robots, but I don't have a ton of thoughts for it. I like that it's simpler to figure out than the Armored Core games, but it sure feels like Armored Core. Just a bit more arcadey, which is good because those games got too deep into like mods into your robot.
I want a new Robo game on freaking Switch. That would be legit.
Oh god, we'll see. Astral Chain looks surprisingly good. I'm not honestly a fan of most of Platinum Games' games, but this one looked pretty cool. I like the colors, the blue and white motif.
Yeah, I like Platinum, so I'll be grabbing this for sure. It just depends.
About Scalebound?
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Oh boy.
I hope so. Have you heard the joke that if it's coming out on Switch, they're calling it Scale Down?
I like that.
Possible episode title. I kind of feel like this like person with a robot thing kind of has like a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure vibe to it, maybe. Kind of like their stands, as they call them.
Oh yeah, no, I'm well aware of JoJo, and it's
yeah.
Alex kind of doesn't shut the fuck up about JoJo sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not honestly a fan, but I've never watched it. I don't like how hyped it got. I feel it's undeserved hype. I don't get it.
Fabulous. Like if you like pretty men.
I don't know, man. It's a weird stretch. But anyways, Astral Chain might be cool. But obviously we only just saw a trailer, so we don't have much to work off. And finally, I skipped a couple things, but finally, a return of Link's Awakening now on the Switch with the new art style. Looks pretty cool. That's a day one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never played Link's Awakening, so I'm excited for it.
Yeah, the original was great too. It still holds up. If you get it on the 3DS, that'd be a great option. Especially if you're sailing again at some point. But yeah, great game. And it'll be nice to not have to go into the menu so much to switch items around. Because there weren't a whole lot of buttons to work with back in the day, but that probably won't be an issue with this one. Yeah, like a lot of what we've been talking here. It's probably one of the best Nintendo Directs I've seen in a while.
Yeah, there was very little downtime for me in it. Like I was excited pretty much throughout the whole thing. Really enjoyed a lot of it and excited at the end. You know, there was some big titles they didn't show, but that's not I don't think that's a problem necessarily. Nintendo's policy has always been, we're going to announce this thing that we're doing, and then you won't see it again until we're ready for it to go.
Well, except for Metroid Prime, that was kind of a...
Yeah, but you know what? I give them props for coming out and saying, hey, listen, we dropped the ball. We gave this to a company we shouldn't have. We're going to fix the ship. Sorry for your wait.
It's very mature of them. Like, I'm still waiting for the Fallout 76 official apology, but...
No, that's not good. I want to apologize.
Yeah.
Let's release Skyrim again as an apology.
Ooh. Yeah, free Skyrim for anyone that bought.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, we got it 5 times already.
Everyone with the free copies of all the original Fallouts. They gave Fallout 1, 2, and Tactics for free for all people who bought 76 as well. Because
that's true.
Ooh.
But that's a very different. It's a different genre altogether. Really, I don't think people are looking to play those when they're trying to play an online MMO first-person shooter.
You got Fallout 76 and you played it, you would probably be pretty disappointed with what's there. So go play an older Fallout, which is better.
Yeah, fair enough. Alrighty, cool. Yeah, pretty good direct.
Yeah, very good.
All right, boys, how you doing on time? Do you want to keep going? Do you want to call her a day or?
I'm gonna jet because it's my dog's about to get frustrated with me.
Yeah, no doubt.
And there she is.
I heard you.
But I had a good time, man. Thanks so much for inviting me on.
Mm-hmm. This has been a surprisingly long episode. Funny how that goes. Just boys talking some games.
Yeah. It just feels like we're hanging out. It doesn't feel like we're doing a show or anything.
Yeah. Tell me about it. I feel so unprepared. All right, well, Sean, thanks for being here. Want to tell the folks where they can find you, be it on the social medias or if you want to shout out the Cartridge Club, and if there's anything specifically that you're looking forward to.
You can get me on Twitter at Cartridge Bros. If you have a Switch, I'm on there as well. My Nintendo Network ID is Player1. And if you want to hang out, I'll be at the dog park.
There you go.
Looking forward to peeing in the backyard right now.
Great. All right. Well, walk that dog, sir. Thanks for being here. Good to chat with you again after many months.
Yes, man. We'll have to stay in touch. Keep us up to date on the job hunt.
Oh, yeah. It always gives me something to tweet about, that's for sure.
All right. Take it easy.
All right, sir. See you next time. Thanks for being here.
All right.
All right, cool. All right, Brock, how you doing on time?
I got like at least another hour and a half or so before I got everything going on. So if you want to keep going, I'll keep going.
Yeah, if your mic will let you.
Yeah, I don't know why it keeps like auto adjusting. I've never had that happen. I'm literally watching the microphone volume thing, and every once in a while it'll just nudge down like 5 volumes.
Yeah, Windows 10.
Off the communications, like reduce mic volume by certain percentages if it hears, like, you know. Anyways, it doesn't matter. We can keep going. It should be fine.
Yeah, I'm actually almost about to tab out too, but we can. I want to hear some thoughts on Star Trek. Don't even want to call it a main topic because this episode's kind of just. There's no huge chunk of any one topic, so it's kind of just everything. But yeah, like I watched Star Trek Discovery season 1, and I had a good time. And like I've heard on the Retro Fandango podcast with our dear friend Kevin, like he's been going on and on about how they hate the show, and you know, I had this expectation, and like I saw that very first scene where they're in a desert, and it's like, oh, they can't find our frequency. Let me just walk in a desert.
Yeah, walk in the shape of the comm badge.
Yeah, like that. I was like, oh boy, this is going to be a rough time. But as I watched it, like, no, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the weird.
Whereabouts are you? Exactly.
Drive. I have finished season 1, and I'm trying to acquire short treks, and then
the short treks are gonna probably piss you off a little bit.
I saw the first one. That's the only one I could find so far.
Which one was the first one? Was that Tilly?
Yeah, Tilly and her predator friend.
Okay, so I actually want to quickly touch on that short trek really quick.
Sure.
So why would a Starfleet, you know, any member of Starfleet touch weird orange goo on the floor, dripping from the ceiling?
I don't know.
Like why would anyone in their right mind think that's a great idea?
Could have been acid.
Yeah, it literally could have been anything. It was some biological goo dripping from the ceiling that she's like, I'm gonna touch it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's a really, really bad idea. But
I mean, sure, you can nitpick. You can nitpick anything, though.
Well, yeah, no, you can nitpick, but like that seems like a pretty stupid thing to do.
Perhaps.
But yeah, no, we're like, I don't know.
That's so Tilly.
I personally do not like Tilly's character whatsoever.
See, the thing is, I actually know a girl named Tilly that's very much like that character, so it's kind of...
Her character seems very removed from what Star Trek was or is, or what I feel like it is. Mm-hmm. She feels like a person who almost doesn't know what's going on in her... Like, she almost seems like the Fry of Futurama in the Star Trek universe. Like, she almost doesn't seem to know what's going on. She's just experiencing the Star Trek universe through like the viewer's eyes, which I don't personally like. Like, you grew up in whatever century this is. Well, I know exactly what century it is, but see, that's where a lot of my complaints come from. It's a lot of lore perspectives, and it's a lot of just really bad writing, especially during season 1. Like, I feel like season 1 could have been a lot better if they didn't blow a majority of the budget on the first 2 episodes.
Did they?
They did. The first 2 episodes, the battle, the binary.
Yeah, well, they were kind of like the TV movie.
Well, yeah. Then the series went through several different directors and several different showrunners during that first seasons, and that's why it's such a mess. It feels a lot more structured in season 2. Like, the first episode, I didn't personally enjoy, but episode 2 was directed by Jonathan Frakes, so Riker, and it actually, they did something for once. They actually let the camera, sit in scenes. They let the scene breathe. They let the characters, they let the scene actually develop. In a lot of the show, it seems very fast paced and cut really awkwardly. Like, there's not a lot of a time for the characters to really have their moment in the ship, on the bridge. Like, do you know anyone on the bridge other than Saru and the captain?
There's Robot Girl. There's
exactly.
There's girl with thing on side of head.
Yep.
There's deeply African woman.
Yep.
There's white man who looks maybe skinny. I think he died in the other universe. Like, he was no, he died in both universes. I don't remember. I've already forgotten a lot of it, honestly. But yeah, no, it's definitely got a different different energy, if you will.
I feel like they're marketing it at people who aren't Star Trek fans, at least the season 1.
Maybe
kind of attract a broader audience. Which,
well, they've been going through this bizarre desire to reboot. They've been trying to reboot since Enterprise and the JJ movies. And
Enterprise, I felt, was actually a pretty good reboot. Like, the first season wasn't super great. It definitely,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I love Enterprise at this point in time, but you kind of know with every Star Trek series prior that the first season, second, they don't always meld very well. There's not like hit after hit episode. Like, once you get to TNG season 3, almost every episode in season 3 is a winner. Where it doesn't really feel like that at this point, but I feel like the show is just trying to find its footing. And a lot of that's to do with the showrunner and where they want to lead this. And if they're going to lead this into, like, if they want us to believe that this is pre-Kirk, you have to change a lot of stuff about the show.
Is it like, I'm still trying to figure out where exactly it is. It's after Enterprise. It's
this is about 70 to 80 years after Enterprise.
Yeah.
This is about it's about 10 years prior to Kirk's 5-year mission.
Okay.
So this is when Captain Pike was still, and that's another thing. They've made a lot of stuff. They've actually, because of Discovery, they've actually kind of offhandedly referenced that the animated series is canon, which they go meet the devil at some point in that, which is problematic, but whatever.
Yeah, it's big universe, man.
They did meet God at some point, which isn't really God, but
that's a good one too.
God, I'm so flustered about Star Trek. It's
yeah, we're not trying to get too deep into it here. We're just ballparking thoughts here.
Yeah, so the Spore Drive, I have a serious issue with unless they actually explain it or explain its existence away.
No, it's just the gimmick of the show. It's here's a spaceship that can pop in anywhere. Well, that's it.
I feel like they are slowly writing it out of existence in season 2.
Remember, I'm not there yet. I can't speak.
Yeah, I won't say really what they've done, but at least at the end of the first season, they kind of were like, we're not going to use the Spore Network again because it's killing the tardigrades, or it's it's doing stuff to the weird creatures inside of it and shit like that. But then they start using it again with Stamets and stuff like that. Which they have not nearly jumped as much in the second season. They've maybe jumped twice, and that was only for very dire purposes, essentially. But it definitely seems like they are setting up potentially a destruction of the entire Spore Network, which would make me happy as a
maybe that's how it ends. Then we
don't
have to worry about it for all the other episodes or all the other series.
Well, they're explaining a lot of the technology away through Section 31, which is I'm kind of okay with, because we don't really know much of Section 31 at this point in Star Trek's history, except for that it was formed as part of the Star Trek or the Federation's the charter. So we know that Section 31 exists at the very start, but they weren't a secret organization until later on in TNG and Deep Space Nine, etc. like when they had like the holographic view screens in the first season. That is majorly lore breaking. Like when because they don't get holographic technology like that on ships until Deep Space Nine during the Dominion War.
And they got those fancy mirrors too.
Yeah, but it's a lot of just minor things that I guess if you're not like
it's casual.
If you're not a lore Nazi like myself,
yeah.
But again, they're fixing a lot of that in season 2, which I almost want to believe that season 1 didn't even happen. I'm almost writing off season 1.
Maybe. You can do that. Hughes snaps his fingers. And that's enough of this.
Burnham at all. I think Michael Burnham's character, like the main character of the show, I don't like her. I don't think she should have a place on Discovery. She started an intergalactic war. There's a lot of things about her character that I don't think that Starfleet would really put up with.
That's why they're on the Misfit ship.
But it's not even a mission. It's the most technologically advanced ship in all of Starfleet, and you're telling me it's run by a bunch of fucking like cadets and war criminals?
Well, it's experimental though, right? Like, remember that other ship? Everyone got all mutated. I think there's an extreme risk to being on that ship at the same time. It's like a science project.
It is. It is.
Like, it's certainly no flagship. It's not using tried, tested, and proven technologies.
Using experimental technology, especially like the spore drive mainly, is like the major thing. And then I'm gonna say something really quick, just how they explain away the not the communicators, but the view screens. So they tear up the holographic view screens in the beginning of season 2, I believe.
Spoilers. That's a good one.
And the only reason they do it is because the holographic communication is like fucking with parts of the ships, like just the computer, I guess. And they're like, Captain Pike's like, oh, rip it out. It doesn't work properly anyways. So you're saying we had the technology 10 years prior to Kirk, and we don't use that technology again for another 100 and something years?
I don't know.
The holodeck didn't exist. Like, holograms didn't really exist.
It's like how phones got smaller and now they got bigger again.
Yeah. And then they are trying to, like, the new Section 31 show that they're setting up. It might be problematic in terms of the technology they're using, but it's gonna. They've already kind of started introducing some of that stuff about season 2 with like TNG level technology, which you're like, this shouldn't be here. But I guess since Section 31 is like, a highly funded, militarized, like almost spec ops like organization, that they have access to like stuff that wouldn't necessarily be rolled out across the fleet. So I kind of buy that part.
Yeah. Well, don't forget, there's been time travel. There's been the alternate dimension.
Oh yeah, no, I know where the time travel is going.
Like they can make up a million excuses for anything if they really wanted to. It's the question is, do they even have to though? Like, is it really necessary to tell a story?
I think to appease the older Trek fans who think this stuff is.
But that's my main topic. Honestly, though, it's just like people who like things as they once were get mad because things have changed, and I feel like it's impossible to ever really make everyone happy. It's like with Transformers. Everything I'm hearing from old people is like, well, they got that new Optimus coming up, but he sure doesn't look G1 enough. And everyone's like, they get so upset because things aren't like how they were 20 years ago.
The look of the show, there's actually a reason why the show looks the way it does, and it doesn't look like the original series. There's licensing stuff to do with CBS and Paramount. So a lot of the costumes and stuff that they in like TV Trek they can't use because they're licensed. It's because of the JJ verse. It's because of the copyright and stuff like that. That's why the show has a fundamentally different look. And I can't fault it for that. Like, yeah, the ship looks more advanced. Like, Enterprise looked more advanced than, the original ship. In some respects, there was definitely.
Well, yeah, like the original Star Trek set itself is just, blinking lights and big squares and things.
At least in Enterprise, they tried to make it seem like a claustrophobic ship, more like a naval vessel.
Yeah, definitely.
they had the same, not necessarily like the same warp drive, the same like type of engine, same engine room. There was stuff in Enterprise that if you were a fan of Star Trek, you would have picked up on. In this, you're like, that doesn't make sense, that doesn't make sense, that doesn't make sense, and then you kind of start asking questions of like, how does this exist? And then they don't answer that. If they didn't answer that in season 1, that's why I'm starting to just say season 1 in my mind didn't exist. Like the whole conflict with the Klingons has never ever been mentioned in any piece of Star Trek media ever.
Well, they're never that friendly with the Klingons either.
They're
It's
never
more
that
just
friendly.
uneasy alliances, right?
Yeah, it's always been an uneasy alliance. Well, not in the original series. Like they were always antagonistic, and they were essentially the main villains of. Like, they were the bad aliens. And like the Klingons, like their look is also another really
I mean, it changes every series.
Although they are starting to explain, they're trying to go. They're going back to. They've actually referenced an episode of TNG. Like they've referenced locations from TNG, about Kahless and stuff like that.
Kahless.
Yeah, they're starting to bridge the lore together, and I appreciate that as a Star Trek fan. Before I was like, why do they look like fucking reptilian? Like they don't look anything like Klingons. They don't look like
they didn't have hair.
Yeah, the reason they don't have hair is because in times of war they shave their heads.
Yeah.
So now they're now at the time of peace, at the end of the end of season 1, they have started to regrow their hair and they're starting to look more like Klingons.
Yeah, Worf loved his hair, man. He has tons of hair.
The batleth, like the batleth they've used in the series, and you're like, that's not a batleth. I've seen batleths from this era, like ancient batleths.
We're going pretty deep.
Oh no, I that's how I have to in terms of Star Trek, because once you've kind of seen every piece of media as many times as I have, like
Star Trek, man, that's your fault. It's not there.
Star Trek is very fundamental to who I am. Like I grew up with everything Star Trek, and I'm one of those people who can pretty much I'll see the cold open of a Star Trek episode, and I can tell you the entire plot of the episode.
Hear that starting? Oh, this is obviously the one when everyone turns into animals.
Yeah, like just there's been some not great episodes of some other series, but like a lot of people write off Voyager and a lot of people write off Enterprise because they're not like the original, and people even write off Deep Space Nine a lot of the times because Deep Space Nine was so different to TNG. And I don't hate Discovery because it's different. I dislike a lot of just what Discovery has done because of the writers. Yeah. If the writers were a little bit more fans of Star Trek, they could at least try to bridge a lot of this stuff together, which they are attempting now. And I appreciate it as a longtime fan of Star Trek. I don't think everything's going to be fixed just with the snap of your fingers, but it's something that can be worked on and continued, especially if the series goes past season 2.
Like, assuming it keeps going, I'm sure there's time to.
I really hope. As much as I don't like Discovery, I mean, I'm starting to turn around on some of it. But as much as I don't like it, I don't want to hate it. I want new Star Trek. I want more to the universe. I want to see the parts I've never seen on television before, because after there wasn't Star Trek on TV for a long time, I started reading a lot of the novels and I started reading a lot of the expanded lore, the stuff that is technically non-canon. It's like the extended universe of Star Trek or Star Wars, right? That they don't necessarily consider it canon, but in my mind, I've made it my head canon. Well, after Enterprise ended, it got canceled in season 4, right? Like the Federation was supposed to be formed pretty much right after that. We were supposed to see like that whole last episode of how they framed it with Riker watching the holodeck tape.
Oh God! I didn't like that.
That's a terrible way to end the series. But in the novels, they actually like retcon Trip's death, and that's a modified recording by Section 31. So they actually enlist Trip into Section 31 in the novels, and they continue along with that. And I felt like that was a good progression for the character instead of just killing him off with a fucking what was it, warp core like arc or something. Like, I don't know, something like killed him. It was just really, really, really dumb. Yeah, like I want there to be more Star Trek because what's currently being put out there is it's being made for a completely different generation, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that don't call it Star Trek then. The season 1, you could have called it something completely different. You could have removed every bit of Star Trek reference out of it, and you wouldn't even have known that show was Star Trek.
Yeah, I can
Like,
see that.
there's so much part of it like that. Then that's what I'm saying. Like, why call it Star Trek if you're not going to at least pay homage to what came before?
It's a viable name.
Oh,
Sometimes
it is,
that's really all it comes down to.
but is it really a viable name at this point when a lot of the
Well, you're watching every episode, aren't you?
I have again I'm watching every episode. But for people like for some longtime Trek fans, Discovery was their I'm done. The I'm done moment. I get it. I understand. Like I never used to like Enterprise either. Like I used to look at Enterprise as the lost sheep of the franchise.
Hmm.
Because when I saw this season 1, it wasn't super great. I was like, okay, this to me is not really Star Trek, but I've turned around on it since then, and I feel like I will turn around on Discovery in some capacity. It's just when. I don't know when. I think it's going to come down to the individual writers and directors of every episode, and hopefully the series goes in a direction that, like, I want them to discover things. Like, no,
That's what they said, right? Once this war is over, we can go back to being explorers.
They've done maybe. There was one standalone episode in season 2, which I believe was episode 2, the one that was directed by Riker, and it was like the first time they actually they went out, discovered something new, and then it concluded, and it was a perfect bubble episode of a series. Kind of what they're doing with the whole main villain of season 2, the Red Queen, or this weird distant signal coming from parts of the universe that shouldn't be happening. Like, okay, I kind of buy that. But why has Spock never mentioned his half sister before? Like,
Yeah.
there must be something she did to him to hurt him.
Well, I mean, let's be real. It's just name recognition for a lot of the time.
Oh, it is definitely.
Here's that thing you knew. It's kind of back, but not really. But kind of.
The first episode of season 2, there's a literally a mansplaining moment, where a white male crew member mansplains to someone, and he dies 2 minutes later.
Nice.
And you're like, oh my god, he just mansplaining killed him. It was pretty funny. Like, you can definitely tell they're trying to go after a different, or they're trying to appeal to today's sensibilities and stuff like that. And Star Trek's always kind of done that in some way or another, except for some early episodes of TNG where they go to African planet and stuff like that. Season 1, they go to African planet, and there's a bunch of yeah, it's not great.
I'm trying to remember that one.
Not many people do remember it because it's kind of racist.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, Star Trek is try to be as open as possible for people, but
yeah. Well, I mean, it is what it is. All you can do is watch it if you want to. Don't watch it if you don't want to, and just try and enjoy it. It's like with the Michael Bay Transformers movies. It took a long time, but some people are actually starting to dig the look of them. And it's something. It's the same. But it's different. It's just time.
Like, I look at Transformers as a different adaptation to Transformers. It's not like the cartoon. But see, you can't really adapt Star Trek in that particular scenario because you're trying to create a prequel to something that we already have a prequel to, and we already have so much media around.
Yeah.
So let's do at least a little bit of thinking, and let's integrate this pretty well. And it feels like they're doing that now. Hopefully they continue. If they don't,
definitely gets messy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the new Picard series personally, because that'll actually continue after Nemesis. That'll continue after the destruction of Romulus, which creates the Kelvin timeline. It'll take place, I believe, a year or two after the destruction of Romulus in the Prime timeline. So we'll have Picard. That means we can have Captain Data, because Data is technically resurrected in a comic book that is canon at this point because of the JJ verse.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of stuff that's exciting about the new franchise. I just hope they don't fuck it up.
Yeah, well, like I said, there's so many different forms of content, be it like games or novels or comic books, and it's just, man, it's just these worlds just get bigger. It's like Star Wars, I'm sure, has the exact same complaints with new movies or prequel movies, and it's just ugh.
I kind of look at the same way. Like I don't like new Star Wars. I prefer the expanded universe, which was like retconned essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't.
Maybe they'll do that with Star Trek if they can. I mean, sure, nah, didn't happen. Like you said, season 1 didn't happen.
Either that or have Star Trek Discovery literally do one last jump and they end up in a multiverse or they end up in a different universe, because they've kind of confirmed that the multiverse exists because of the Spore Network.
Oh, really? That's fun.
So if they jump out of existence and they leave the Prime timeline forever and they're on their own thing in this weird bizarro universe, sure.
Yeah, well, that's just it. Like they're zapping through time and space and dimensions. Like, sure, you literally can't get away with whatever you want.
I haven't done any time travel yet in Discovery.
Yeah, but remember they came back from the dark universe, and then it was like in the future for no particular reason.
Yeah.
And then the war was like, oh no, we're dying because you guys weren't here, and they're like, they never went back in time. They just kept going from that point.
You just reminded me of like the fact that there's also like a planet detonating explosive in the center of Kronos.
Yeah, that's cool.
No, that's still there.
Yeah, no,
it's just there forever now.
Yeah.
They haven't addressed that at all in season 2.
It keeps people in line. I thought that was fun.
So I guess if you want to blow up the Klingons at any time, you can.
Yeah. Well, the Klingons can blow up the Klingon planet now.
Well, they
if
do
they
that.
want to.
They do that with one of their moons in Star Trek 6. Praxis explodes.
All right.
I'm a nerd, I know.
I know. That's all right. All right. Well, I'm getting antsy myself, so let's wrap this up.
Man.
But I mean, I'm enjoying Discovery. Like I said, I've only seen the first season, but I am keen to see more. And it's unfortunate that not everyone can enjoy it. If I just say don't overthink it if possible. Sometimes in life you just gotta go. Just go with it. Just do it, like Nike. You can think about finding a new job for years, or you can actually just go and look for a new job.
I've just been watching all my favorite franchises and all my favorite TV shows and all my favorite media kind of come crashing down for this new. No, like
I know.
It's dead. Command and Conquer is dead.
Yeah.
There's so many franchises that have either been canceled or been rebooted and just been terrible that why change what works? The formula worked. The formula worked. Just make something in the style of, and just appease the older fans a little bit, because they're still like they're more willing to spend money than some of your newer fans. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah.
Alrighty. All you can do, man. I hope you have been enjoying the show to some extent.
Oh yeah, no, I more like looking for the Easter eggs than anything, because in season 1 there's a lot of Easter eggs. Like I feel like the prop designers they were more Star Trek fans than anything. Like there's stuff in the background on books and on like, pictures and just subtle references, and you're like, okay, they cared. Like this is some Star Trek. This is some Star Trek. And then you get to the bridge and you got the camera spinning around and cutting all around, and you're like, I can't follow anything.
Yeah. Well, as long as they cut back on the lens flare.
And introduce the robot character, man.
I know, right?
There's so many people on that bridge, and I'm like, I don't know who the fuck these people are. I don't care about Tilly. I want to know about the robot.
You have to care about Tilly.
Thing with like the fucking like augmentation on that chick's head, and like, and then like the pseudo visor, which we see in season 2. There's like a prototype Geordi visor kind of deal, and
that's always fun.
They don't mention it though. They literally like it shows it for 1 second, and you're like, oh, that looks like Geordi's visor, and you're like, okay, I thought that was never used prior to Geordi, but okay, cool. Again, that's the thing. It's like Easter eggs here and there. You're looking there to pick out the little bits.
Yeah, well, that's fun. But there's so much coming out. It sounds like, anyways. There's like a Transformers crossover too. Did you see that?
No.
I think it's a comic series. There's like one of the starships is a Transformer. It's weird.
love some of the crossover stuff, man.
Yeah, they get pretty creative sometimes. But I mean, like if they can get away with that, then why can't this new series? Oh well, you just can't please people sometimes. Just gotta keep on keeping on. I think it's doing well. Like Ken would say, there's always the Orville.
Oh, I personally enjoy the Orville a lot more than Discovery.
I've only seen one episode. I just it didn't click. I don't know.
It starts off a little bit slow. It started getting into its groove by the end of season 1, and season 2 has been quite a good experience. And apparently next week is going to be a big moment for people who have stuck around for the last 2 seasons. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, there's options.
Like more next gen, which I like. And I don't know. I do want something new. I do want Discovery to be good. I do want the Picard series to be good. I do want the what is it called? Lower Decks to be good. The animated series.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of stuff that I'm excited for, but we've had this happen in the past, and it just all turns out to be shit a lot of the time.
Yep. Hoping for the best.
Hoping for the best.
Sounds good. Alrighty. Well, let's wrap this show up. This is a long episode. Brock, well, thanks for being here today. Anything you want to pimp out? Your social medias? Game Pilgrimage Group?
Gaming Pilgrimage PC on Twitter. Also Pokemon Brock, so PKM Brock on Twitter. I also have a Twitch channel, which I sometimes stream on, which is, I believe it's twitch.tv/quarter of a life, because I'm the biggest Half-Life fan that there has probably ever been. For some reason it doesn't. Yeah, no, that is right. Okay, I'm just being stupid. I typed it in wrong. Yeah, other than that, I think that's about it. I do probably plan to start streaming a little bit more in the future when I do have the time, but time allows.
Yeah, tell me that.
I would say that's about it. Hopefully we have an episode of the Gaming Pilgrimage out pretty soon, because we are finishing up Gundam Unicorn, and then potentially the NX movie once that comes out. But yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Sounds good. Thanks for being here again. Any games or shows you're looking forward to next?
Any games or shows that I'm looking forward to next? I mean, today I'm hopelessly lost for reality TV. Like I watch Survivor every season now. Like I've got back into that for the last couple seasons, so that starts tonight, which is going to be fun. Watch that with a couple friends. That's just a good old time. Other than that, I don't think there's any other shows that are coming out other than Game of Thrones. Like Game of Thrones, I've been waiting for it to end for a very long time, and they had obviously delayed the last season so they could film in the winter.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Hopefully,
that's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's the last season, right?
Yeah, I hope it ends. I hope it ends in a very, very good way. Like I hope that at least someone, like I at least hope someone is pleased by it. Like I hope it doesn't get rushed, and I hope that.
Yeah. Well, there's so much money right on it now. I think we'll probably be in for a good ride.
Has already been greenlit, so.
Yeah, isn't there's that prequel series coming out?
Yeah, it'll be probably like 1,000 years or so before a couple hundred or so. It'll be completely independent. And there's no books about that time either, so hey. It'll be.
Yeah, no more books. No more books. All right, good stuff. Well, thanks for being here. Of course, everyone, I'm Steven. Thanks for listening to this latest episode of the CAPMAX HYPECAST. This is episode 28. Check me out here on YouTube, of course, CAPMAX Gaming, on Twitch, CAPMAX_gaming, all one word. Check me out on Twitter at Steven Eider, Steven with a V, EIDHER. And thanks for sticking around for this episode. For me, I'm just trying to catch up with the backlog mostly. Like I mentioned, I want to catch up on Nier Automata, the Metro games, maybe Far Cry 5. I find a good deal on it. The America motif is just kind of boring compared to the other ones, where it's like exotic mountain range or caveman. It's just kind of there. But I like how the sequel is like that, but post-apocalypse. So that sounds cool. I might even skip 5, but it all depends if I get a good deal on it or not.
But New Dawn, so if you do skip 5, you can always play that, which is essentially the same map as 5, and just story is sequel.
I can't blame them for doing that. That's a lot of space to make a game from. Why not? get more use out of it. It's like with Captain Toad, that's just assets all over again, but why not?
Well, it also ends on kind of a cliffhanger too.
Which one?
Far Cry 5.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it ends in a big bang.
Yeah, it kind of does.
I can't believe they spoiled. Like as soon as they announced this new Far Cry. So at the end of Far Cry 5, everything blah 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 blah. It's like, oh my god, I'm not there yet. Don't tell me this.
Leads to that, you don't know the events that the betweens are important.
Yeah, the ride to get there.
The ride is very important.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I started Discovery. Hopefully, it turns around.
There you go. Yeah, it sounds good.
All right,
So shout out to the chat. We have Aussie. We had Retro Nonsense. We had Game Time with Kyle. We had Buried on Mars. We had Temp Act. Pretty good turnout. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap her up. So everyone, thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, Brock and P1. Talk to you guys.